Is the mics picking up the music, the lo-fi hip-hop beats to study to in the background?
No, I just checked. We're good.
Okay, cool. It'd be fine if it did. Well, I guess maybe you would have a copyright claim. Anyway, we're off to a start with another exciting episode of the Terrorisk podcast.
Yeah.
I'm here with my co-host, Chris Kim, and the mononymous Richie.
Richie's been the unsung hero for sure. Definitely gave us another dimension.
Oh, thank you.
Third Mike, a direct video editor, even if he's sleepy and falling asleep in the chair behind him.
Well, that's because Rich, do you do a lot of manual labor at your job?
I walk around a lot and lift things occasionally. That's it.
That sounds like a good amount of labor, like not an absolutely exhausting amount. What do you think the funniest city job would be for Rich to have? Cityest funny job Rich could have?
The lowest paying one. Whereas, like, I mean, if you expect me to sit here and be like garbage man, I'm sorry to tell you, that's like the best fucking city job you can get in New York.
No, I'm not shitting on garbage man. I know it's a great job.
No. I mean, I'm not even. Regardless of your opinion, I'm saying that job is like the holy grail of city jobs in New York City. Like all my friends, it's either they went for it and they got it, or they dream of getting getting a job on New York sanitation. It pays the most. You have the best hours. You only have because your schedule is basically the garbage pickup days of your sector, you know? And it's like you get paid a shit ton of fucking money. The only downside is, you get drug tested.
Ooh, yeah, it is a downside. Do all the city jobs drug test you?
100%, bro.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I swore I've seen guys on the park smoking weed, but maybe it was my head, or maybe they weren't city employees.
Well, it's like it's
maybe
basic
part of contract.
I mean, put it this way: like you worked so hard to land this job, especially if it's a job that actually pays, enough for you to make a living on. Like, are you really gonna fuck that up with weed? Like, if I was a sanitation, worker, I would say I made enough money to not care about weed. I'd be like, all right, what am I gonna sacrifice like $300K a year just working 2-3 days a week, overtime on the winters? It's a good fucking job though, like sick.
Even then you can't you're not handling that much gross stuff and you're wearing gloves.
No, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Sorry. It could actually be a boon because you come across and find shit.
I know that's especially true with people who do junk cleanouts. They're the ones that find the most things. That's actually one thing. Rich already naturally finds great stuff in the trash. If he got a job as a garbage man, he would just be finding like a chest full of gold doubloons every month or so. He'll find some like massive finds with his luck stacked with that level of availability. Or if you were working for like a junk company, you're just like, oh, hey, look, I just found a Stradivarius in this old hoarder lady's apartment.
Well, the real thing that you want is you want to get assigned to like a rich neighborhood. But the only downside is like you have to travel all the way to the area, to the depot within that sector, and if it's not where you live, then you're gonna think it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, it's like also like I don't know if it's like the way it was in like the 80s, being a garbage man, like finding shit and like having like good dumpster finds.
If you work at a dump directly, definitely. I wonder how much stuff that gets thrown out probably gets picked over by other people. Like already, Rich is constantly finding stuff just walking down the street.
Yeah. No, that's true. But what I'm talking about is like stuff you could potentially like resell.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a piece of furniture that has no business being thrown out on the side of the street, and then you take it, and then you actually like flip it, or maybe like some antique lamp or some shit. But you have to like really have an eye for those things. Like you have to know what to look for and shit.
Audio equipment, clothing, all this stuff. There's a lot of things that an untrained eye will look at and you think it has value, but it really doesn't. Also, just so much stuff has been made over time that there's just a lot lying around.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's also like what you know. It's like if I don't know anything about antique coats, and then like how the fuck am I supposed to know what a valuable rare piece of sporting outer attire
Yeah
looks like? I mean, swords maybe. I could probably spot like a really good sword.
Yeah, how many people are throwing out really good swords compared to the things they're normally throwing out, though?
There used to be a time when it was like a lot of people. You go to any flea market.
Well, there used to be a lot of katanas because of World War II, right?
Yeah. So one of the senseis, well, the grandmaster, you could call him Hataya Sensei. He goes to flea markets stateside, and like a lot of people will get like heirlooms passed down from World War II days, and then he'll check it, and most of it's junk, like because a lot of those swords used in World War II were just like very fast made, like production model katanas.
In a factory, stamping it out pretty quickly.
But then one out of like every 100 would be like a real deal family heirloom from generations and generations, and so he buys it up for like super cheap. It's like, oh, this is a piece of junk, blah, 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 and then pays like very little on it and then takes it back. And it turns out to be worth like a lot of fucking money. And they didn't know any better because how could they?
Yeah. So many cases of that. It's actually really noteworthy about America that 90% of your consumer interactions are with like a mega corporation that is charging you basically market rate for whatever you're getting. Think about like how in so much of the world you have to haggle constantly for every little thing you buy.
What do you mean? I never haggle for anything.
Well, yeah, we were in America.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if you're in Egypt, like, oh, I'm going to buy a coffee. Wait, I have to haggle for this. I mean, I know they love doing that, but it just seems very tedious. Or in India, like all your interactions are engaged in this like hostile back and forth. Whereas here, you basically only do that in like buying something used or in a car dealership. One of the reasons people hate car dealerships is because it's a rare place where you can definitely easily get screwed on something.
I don't know. I think it's easy not to get screwed with cars. Like if you know what you're buying, if you know like certain degrees. But the problem with that is like on average, people they say only own like 7 to 8 cars in their lifetime.
Yeah.
And you'd have like kids before they turn 25, they've already owned like 15 cars, so they're like after you buy like a bunch of used cars, like you kind of get a feel for it, you kind of know what to look for, because like you buy your first used car, it's clapped out, it's a piece of shit, lots of things wrong with it, you try to drive it, use it as a daily driver, and you're just grateful to have a car, and then it breaks down constantly, and you figure out why it breaks down, but you're like, all right, whatever, and then it becomes a money pit. Then it gets so broken that it's just completely fucked, completely clapped. So you have to get a new used car. Second time around, you have a way better idea, because you wouldn't think so.
As with many things in life, but yeah,
but you wouldn't think so. But then you
without even realizing, you learned a lot.
It's a lot like finding a girlfriend, honestly, because it's like you get a new car. This bitch is supposed to be your ride or die, literally, like and she could fail on you at any time, and you're gonna have to like fix it. You're gonna have to deal with those problems, and it's like, and if you want a higher quality bitch that isn't going to give you as many fucking problems, well, guess what? You're going to have to pay a lot more.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, it's either you're going to have to pay a lot more in 2 ways. You're either going to have to pay in money, or you're going to have to pay in extra responsibility.
Yeah.
Like the car I drive, for example, it's still like a blue collar working man's car. However, it's still a sports car. So that means like I have to fucking get an oil change every 3,000 miles instead of every 10,000, or I have to use premium gas instead of regular. And just shit like that. But, that's like, if you know what you're doing, then it's like a labor of love. You know why you're doing these extra steps because you actually give a shit.
Whereas, aren't you getting much better gas mileage driving a shift? Driving manual?
Sure, but by the time you get to like a V8, it kind of becomes redundant. That's a redundant factor. But regardless, like I work from home, so I don't even drive that much enough to worry about that shit,
Yeah.
But another rule I like to like kind of look towards when it comes to like a girlfriend or a car or a bike, even, like I always go to the 2 out of 3 rule. Think of 3 things you like have to have in a car or in a bitch or something, and then just pick 2. Like for example, with a girl, like we have sane, skinny, and smart. Pick 2. Like, or no, it was sane, skinny, and hot. Pick 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or with a car, it's like fun, reliable, and cheap. Pick 2. Usually people err on the side of fun and cheap, but that becomes definitely a money pit.
Yeah. What was the other one? Reliable?
Yeah, fun, cheap, and reliable.
What's something that's fun and reliable?
Car wise,
Yeah. Just higher end things.
fun and reliable. Yeah, like a BMW M3, a sports model Mercedes, a fucking some. Yeah, like shit like that, like luxury sports cars. Those shits
Makes
are
sense.
fun and reliable. But I shouldn't even say that honestly, because it's when I say reliable, I don't mean reliable as in you could drive it forever and nothing will ever go wrong and it'll keep going and going. No, I'm saying it's reliable if you do all the rich man shit. If you take it to the dealership every fucking time and pay the extra premiums, if you did never do aftermarket parts, if you keep everything factory tuning, and all that shit, then yeah, it's reliable. But once you want to start having fun and customizing it, then shit starts fucking up if you don't know what you're doing. So if you want something that's actually fun and reliable, get like a Subaru. But that is like kind of like the unicorn because those things are like fun, reliable, and cheap. They're just not the fourth thing, which is like balling. Like it's balling on a severe budget. It's like, yeah, if you own a tricked out Subaru, you got your bases covered. It's cool, it's fun, it's reliable, and it's relatively cheap compared to a fucking sports car. But I mean, it's a Subaru. It's like a dyke car. I shouldn't say that. That's a slur, but whatever,
It's a canal car, yeah.
Yeah, a canal car. But I'm
Or
not hating on
Levy.
Subarus.
Levy is what I should have said. Levy.
Yeah, I drove a fucking Subaru. It was pretty cool. It was fun as hell. I learned how to drive on a Subaru, really. I mean, yeah, I drove like an automatic before that, but I think like that Subaru really taught me like what driving was really about. So yeah, same with girls, like just pick 3 must-haves in a girlfriend and just pick 2, and that's settle for that. Like that's the best you could hope to get. I mean, if it comes down to like skinny, sane, or hot, and you have to pick 2 on the count of 3. Let's pick the one that we're gonna leave out. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Hot.
Sane. Oh
No, previously I said sane almost every single time, but now I'm like I should.
If she's skinny and sane but ugly as sin, like I could work with that.
I think I can now. She's smart enough.
Yeah,
I think I can.
you'll
At
think
one
you're
point.
dating some like Victorian era writer or something. Maybe not Victorian, more like
Yeah, that Victorian would work, or like some spinster-esque from the 19th century writer. Yeah.
Yeah, she has to look like Anna.
A severe face.
Yeah, like Anna
Well, Anna's hot.
in her own way. Sure.
Yeah.
I look at Anna and Dasha. I'm like, those are definitely like I could see why they're on the radio. I could see why they're on an audio format. I'm not saying they're ugly. I'm just saying it's like they sound way hotter than they are.
I don't know. The voice, a lot of people are thrown up by the vocal fry. Anna has a hot voice.
She
Dasha,
does.
I don't care for her voice at all.
I forgot what Dasha sounded like. I remember what Anna sounded like. No, I forgot. Yeah, that's what it was. I forgot.
They
what
sound
Dasha
pretty similar to each other. It gives me a little
Yeah.
confused when I listen.
Yeah, it's easy to get confused listening. At least you're super familiar.
Yeah, you don't get that problem with us.
No. I think we only have a distinctive enough voice. Well, I have a very distinctive voice. Actually, all 3 of us do.
Yeah, that's true.
Richie's like gargling gravel.
Yeah.
Chris, you sound straight from Staten Island.
I really don't though.
Yeah, you don't.
I really
You don't have like the Irish accent that other guys get.
I don't even think those people are around Staten Island anymore.
Where, like Long Island or Jersey?
Yeah. Yeah, now Staten Island is becoming way more ethnic, way more Chinese people.
Indian?
Probably. I'm still hitting on that. Like, I think she's Indian. This girl in
And the 7-Eleven who's working there, the one that's probably a teenager.
I hope she's not a fucking teenager. It's hard to tell with certain ethnicities,
Yeah. There's certain people, up until like
I tried
their 20s.
judging by the accessories. Like that's what I was told. If a girl looks like, you can't tell if they're like an adult, but they have a job and like you interact with them on like a adult basis, more or less. It's like you look at their
Does she have an
jewelry.
accent? Is she an immigrant?
I don't think she's an immigrant, and she doesn't have an accent.
Yeah, I bet she's a teenager then because she's not in college yet directly.
So I didn't have an accent.
That's true. But I mean, like, well, you were born here.
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is like a Daisy woman working in a 7-Eleven. If she's not an immigrant, my inclination is to believe she's like the kid of
She
the
couldn't.
owner.
She could not be Indian. She could be like like Arabic.
Even then, same thing. Usually they send their kids to, she's like Yemeni or whatever, they send their kids to college usually.
Yeah, but she speaks English, so she's clearly working class because she's working at the fucking family owned. It's probably her dad.
Well, if it's her dad's place, then it's just a temporary thing. And all the more reason to jump on it.
Yeah.
Unless she's like a unique modern American failed daughter, normally she'd be off like trying to get a real degree.
I don't know. I gotta ask how old she is. That's like the next thing I have to ask her. It's like, hey, how old are you?
Yeah, you already know her name.
And if she tells me like if she lies,
14.
oh no, then it's like I don't think she's 14 though. I don't think she's like underage because
Probably like 17.
I don't think so either.
Mm.
Like I said, you could tell from the accessories. Like, look at their jewelry. Like 17-year-olds really do wear like dress like 17-year-old shit. I mean, they try to fake it sometimes, but you could always tell from the accessories.
Mm.
Like the bracelets and the rings and the necklaces. Like you could tell if something was lifted off of H&M or some shit versus
Or
like,
just like cheap costume jewelry as opposed to real jewelry.
exactly. Eyes for details, you know. Actually, a girl taught me that. I was like, what if you can't tell? Like, what if there's just girls that look, because this was when I was in my 20s, and she was like, yo, just look at their accessories. And I was like, oh yeah, that's so true. Because when I was a teenager hanging out with other teenage girls, they were all wearing like shit from like Hot Topic, Journeys, Zoomies.
Crazy that Zoomies was a store that was a generation out of date for its name. It just predicted the future.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea if it's still around. Well, what's the Zoomies? Is that like a mall store? Is it
Yeah.
like a Hot Topic?
It's a mall skate shop.
Okay, yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to Zoomies. That used to be my shit, skateboarding stuff. Because it's not like I cared for like basketball sneakers. I didn't care for like being an Italian that wanted to be black. I didn't care for being black. I didn't care for any of that shit. So like skateboarding apparel was like the natural fit.
Natural fit.
Yeah.
What did I wear? I was just wearing things that like relatives bought for me around that age.
Hell yeah.
I was just very blandly dressed.
Yeah.
Like
Steve Carell from Crazy Stupid.
yeah, it's only in like my early 20s that I start buying my own clothes, and I start buying basically what I wear now, where I just honed in on vintage things.
I think I always knew what looked good. I just never wanted to commit to it because for me, like committing to it means like essentially making changes to your lifestyle. You know, like little things do like
Proper maintenance or holding things together.
Yeah, like fucking going to a dry cleaners and fucking keeping shit hung up instead of just thrown into my drawer haphazardly. And I was used to that, but I always knew like proper shit because my grandmother and her daughter ran a sweatshop. Yeah. They hired a bunch of Mexicans. They owned a factory. They had it good. You know, this is why like I still had like somewhat of a middle class upbringing for a while, because there was a period when the family business was a sweatshop in Manhattan producing clothes for like Nordstrom and shit.
Interesting. Where was it located?
I don't know, around like 32nd or something like that. So yeah, I mean, that's where I learned. I mean, can't say I knew about clothes. I was just around them and I didn't realize it.
Yeah, once again, this is the kind of thing of just being around it or seeing what people, maybe subconsciously seeing what people are focusing on or picking up or doing.
Yeah, and it's not like I was like socializing actively at that age. And so it's not like I had any comparative references. So I just thought, whatever. It wasn't until I was much older that I realized like, oh shit, my grandmother actually had really good taste. Like she actually knew what she was doing. Like, and paying attention to what she was paying attention to back then kind of like kept me informed now. Cause like, you know, just, I never was a trend follower. I hate that shit. I don't hate it. It just rubs me the wrong way. Like I would never dress like a TikToker, a hipster of this or that. Like I know what I like. And I think that's like the difference between fashion and style. It's like you could just chase fashion or you could have your own innate style. And like once you know that, there's really no point in like deviating from that. Unless you really want to commit to something new, which is fine. I mean, sometimes you have to. Like when I started swordsmanship, I kind of had to like acclimate to wearing something completely different that I just wasn't used to a lot. You know?
Yeah, a lot more kimonos.
Just like a gi and hakama and the obi and all that shit. So yeah, that's that was neat.
Rich, what was that black guy we saw in East Village on Saturday that was wearing like a kung fu outfit?
Oh, I can't remember. I vaguely remember.
It was like a red, I don't know. It looked like an anime character.
Oh,
where it was
yeah,
like a
yeah.
red and white, like not quite toga, and I don't think it was a kimono.
More like Middle Eastern looking almost.
Yeah, stepped into his Aladdin pants.
Yeah, that was good. It was a very good fit.
Yeah, I know. I'm not doing justice to describing it here.
No, I could imagine it. I mean, basically, was he younger?
Younger, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably a weeboo.
Yeah, probably. That was my guess on it. Maybe it was a schizo, but I think he was younger and was a weeb because
Someone
they
tried
seemed
to-
together well enough. And he's wearing sandals with it, which was another key weeb gesture.
Someone tried to suggest to me that there's like really funny beef between black people and Asian people, and I'm like, yeah, right, yo. Black people fucking love Asian people and Asian culture. They love kung fu. They love Pikachu. They love Dragon Ball. They love all that shit.
Yeah,
K-pop.
Vegeta is more important to young black men than Martin Luther King Jr. ever was.
Straight up. Real talk. And yeah, so I'm not really. If anything, the way I see it, like black people could use some Asian culture, honestly.
Yeah, I would teach them discipline.
I guess that's one way to put it. Like,
They could reduce risk of hypertension by eating a few grains of rice a day.
maybe.
Imagine the like gunfights, like sword fights, like katanas, all black people. They still
Yeah,
they
if
still
they
miss each
stopped
other.
hitting. Yeah,
They still miss each other.
yeah. If a bunch of guys in the hood decide to just start sword fighting instead of gunfighting, but they still manage to miss each other and just decapitate a bunch of infants that are standing near them.
Oh man. Stab.
Imagine their cheap ass fucking swords they'd buy.
There's a bunch of
steel
guys
shit.
with mall ninja swords, and as they are like parrying each other, the blade breaks and goes flying, and still manages to be a stray bullet.
Well, I guess that's really the thing, right? Like that kind of like black person just cares about the style, the aesthetics
Yeah.
of the samurai shit. They don't, because if they really cared, they would be practicing. They would be actually going to a dojo, and there's plenty of black people that do.
Yeah,
Plenty,
it's true.
just a ton.
Like Ghost Dog, played by Forrest Whitaker.
Movie characters aside, I mean, there's like
No, there are real black guys like that. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and they're just like nerdy fitness nerds or whatever, or they're like
You know that I don't know if he's still there. You ever go to Carmelo's, the bar?
no.
There is a great black bouncer who is this huge nerd, and he was a really sweet, fun guy.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, I know. Really muscular, short.
Like Terry
Oh my,
Crews.
His Instagram's great, man. Is it still around?
I hope so. His Instagram, he lives in Staten Island too, I think, or no, Coney Island. So he would record himself doing like martial arts motions on the beach and put like Dragon Ball Z lightning effects over it.
Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen Chinese people do that with
Yeah.
like swords and like PVC swords. Doing cool edits.
Loved Wolverine because those kind of guys always love Wolverine.
Short buff guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, black people do love their weeb shit. That's true. Good for them. I mean, you know, it can only help at this point. You know, like it's either that or like, hey, yeah, drink cough syrup until you fucking see
Your
green.
liver explodes.
Yeah. So yeah, let them
Imagine if Kanye, instead of getting to Hitler, got really into Tojo. So like the song was just Hail Hirohito.
The problem with Kanye is like same problem with Azalea Banks. Like they both think they're high culture, like high fashion, high culture, high music, high society. Maybe
Both
they
of
are.
them can't shut up ever, so they just get themselves deeper into trouble or ostracized, which I can relate to.
They're
what
both
I-
immensely petty too, as
Yeah.
well.
But what I'm saying is like they're both the kind of people who probably think they're above weeb shit. They probably think they're like weeb shit is influenced
It
by
might be a
them.
little bit older. Well, I know Kanye loves. He definitely loves Akira. Because
Like,
the stronger music video
Nah.
has like is literally like an Akira.
Yeah, but
homage.
that's judging basing like off of one of his productions. I'm saying like if you actually went up to Kanye and tried to talk about some weeb shit, he could flex so hard, and he's like, dude, I go to Tokyo like every month. Like I go party with my actual Japanese niggas. You know, like
Yeah,
do
yeah,
you
jiggas.
do you go to Japan, Mr.
Yeah.
Weeb? No, you don't go to fucking Japan. Azalea Banks probably the same way. It's like I was just in Tokyo last week. You want to talk to me about anime shit? What, you watch anime off fucking Netflix and Amazon Prime? I go to fucking Tokyo. I go to fashion shows in Japan. See, like that's what I'm saying. They probably think they're above it. You know, like
Yeah.
they're why do you think I give a fuck about this? Like I'm there. Like I actually go to these places. So yeah, that's why I think like, you know, when it comes to why Kanye and Azalea Banks don't just become black weebs, that's why. You know, they're too big for that.
It might also be just age a little bit. Like if they were like 10 years younger, they'd be more so.
Please. There's plenty of old ass black weebs that
That's
play Magic
true.
the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're cool. You know, I chill with them.
Yu-Gi-Oh more so, but yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh's a good game. Yeah.
So we cracking the.
Oh,
Yep.
too early shit.
Yeah, let's crack it.
Let's crack them.
Crack it. Crack them and stack them, boys.
What a lovely sound when it pops open.
Yeah, I love these things. Paper towels are right there, but yeah, I love these things too. This isn't my favorite flavor. I prefer honey, but they were out of the honey.
Well, it's the best one.
To those of you watching, these are called Strapolskis. Strapolski beer. I don't know. They have these crazy sealing system, like open brewing.
It's classic, man. That's how they used to do it.
What they all used to have, these kind of caps.
I guess I can find a picture of one.
Yeah, I save those bottles too. Maybe I'll need them to store my potions.
Staropolsky Brewing. In Zdunska Wola City.
Oh, that's right.
Chimney. This is actually a friend of mine back in Boston is very close to his last name. His last name is probably derived from it. It's like Shimolinsky.
So yeah, we're drinking Eastern European beers, having a good
Polish
time.
to be precise.
Polish. I love it when a Polish person's like, my grandfather fought communists in World War II.
Yeah, many such cases. Same thing with Ukrainians. We went to the Ukrainian festival. I'll put it on the screen, Rich.
Mhm.
We went to the Ukrainian festival. No, in the recording, I mean.
Mm.
Is it on the recording? Yeah. The Ukrainian festival, there wasn't too much inflammatory, problematic stuff around. I only saw, I bought a Confederate flag bottle opener, which was inexplicably in one of the merchants' booths. And there was a few things with like subtle swastikas in them, like on a plate or whatever. But it was just one of many symbols. A couple of things for the UPA, which was like Ukrainian Insurgency Army or whatever in World War II, which was Nazi aligned under Stepan Bandera. I bought an Azov patch.
You just bought like all the edgelord stuff.
I did. Did very predictable. I went around and bought every single edgelord thing I could find at the Ukrainian festival,
That's pretty fun.
which wasn't too much stuff, but still a lot of fun. Like one interesting thing, I was interested by how many like wooden guns and knives they had. I think I'm just not used to seeing kids' toys like that anymore because they've fallen out of Western fashion.
You're not used to kids' toys that aren't
I
shaped
don't know.
like vaginas and
Yeah, it's true.
penises.
I'm not used to kid toys either, but I don't recall ever seeing those kind of like
What's
wooden AKs.
Yeah, well, it's all like Call of Duty shit, which is fucking
Yeah, with
hilarious.
all the
like almost 1-to-1, dude.
almost all of it was Call of Duty, that gasoline finish where it's like a pit viper rainbow color on the blade.
This world is becoming less and less hospitable for children. I mean,
Yeah, because there's less and less children.
yeah.
And the children we do have, we become more protective of or
Like-
focus on more.
Like imagine getting your children like an Andrew Tate action figure, or like a toy replica of Jeff Bezos's rocket. Like you can't, you just can't do these things.
Well, I mean, kids don't play with toys anymore. I'm pretty sure they just play with tablets from like 3 years onward.
they
3
play
years
with,
old.
they play with each other's psychic wellness. Like
They certainly do a
definitely.
lot of that. I don't know. It's weird because there's no like kids internet or think we're off, and even things deliberately for children like your YouTube Kids is filled with
AI slop, I think.
a lot of bizarre AI slop.
Mods.
you know what might get big? This
What?
actually might be a fucking
What?
$1 million idea. I mean, someone's definitely working on it. Like, you know what intranet is?
It's an internet, a closed internet, like a connection, a network of computers, right?
Every
network?
local network is pretty much a
Yeah.
quote unquote intranet. It just doesn't have that sleek
Name.
the sleek interface that like the regular protocol does, which is like, you open up a browser that everyone shares and all that shit using the same search engine. But intranet, yeah, it's exactly how you say. It's like a closed network where you could like pretty much everyone in that closed network accesses the same thing. North Korea has an intranet,
Yeah, so they have an internet just for the country.
So here's my idea. What if we really can't do censorship, then what we should do is we should normalize like every household setting up their own intranet. There's still the wider internet, don't get me wrong, but
Well, just normalizing people. For protection of your kids, having just a local area network that has everything they could possibly need on it.
exactly all the games installed, all the resources, all the saved media from like Pirate Bay or whatever, and you have a home server, set up a home, and that I think is going to become normalized. Like just as much as it's normal for a house to have like a fucking refrigerator, I think it's going to be very, very normal for houses to have like a whole local server. I mean, because it's already fucking retarded the way most people, normal people, are doing it now. I mean, I don't even know why it's taking this long for the average person to see what they're doing is fucking stupid. Like, how many laptops, how many fucking MacBooks, how many tablets are you like really gonna go through? And how much data do you really lose in transition? You know how many photos you're like, oh, I'll just upload and transfer it to the cloud, to the cloud, to the cloud. Yeah, right. As if you're gonna like ever access it. And one day,
I mean, ease of use and ease of access when you change like a laptop or change a cell phone. People are just not used to the idea of backing things up, of having their own storage for it. It's something that like some millennials did and people who are real computer people do. But there was only a brief millennial time when pretty normal people would like have an external HD, right?
well, I mean, the biggest problem back then, before Zoomers that we dealt with, we were probably the last generation to deal with it, was having limited space on your mobile device.
Yeah.
You're like, oh fuck, I don't have any more space to take more pictures. Like, yeah, we don't have that problem anymore,
It's fucking insane that my phone has like 128 gigabytes of storage.
But the thing is, like, you can't install like Red Dead Redemption 2 on your phone yet. You can't fucking install like.
Well, every game is incredibly bloated because you have to come with every single language vocal pack, and it's packed full of needless details.
And there's also a lot of like networking components.
Yeah. Or damn, I mean, that was like, oh, geez, was it 15 years ago we had that slate of games that required you to be online as an anti-piracy measure, and they were claiming it had practical function?
Yeah.
Like that SimCity that was infamous for it. I forget which one. The SimCity that was like a huge file size and you had to be connected to the internet to play it. And they claimed that they were offloading functioning of the game processing on their cloud servers, but really it was just a anti-piracy measure.
But that's still exactly that's exactly like legit. Like that's a very legit reason. Like if you look at every game now, they all do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these games, AAA titles that you can only play when you play online, when you're connected. Otherwise,
it became the industry standard, right?
Yeah.
So then, like, it's so much easier to, frankly, install a crack from some Eastern European.
Some sketchy Russian website.
Yeah, some sketchy Russian website that is at least like a third the file size.
It's keyloggers, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But just having that is.
I mean, very few games now that are like high quality are standalone enough for you to like play offline, like that are still really good. Like The Witcher 3. That was
Or
a big,
Baldur's Gate 3, yeah.
Or Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I heard those mixed reviews.
I heard that Cyberpunk really improved, particularly with the expansion they put out.
In the anime?
Yeah, the expansion in particular apparently really balanced the game out.
No, the expansion came after the anime, and the expansion was supposedly really good. It added like a whole new ending tree.
Yeah.
It added like espionage elements and like political intrigue.
I mean, I don't know. It still has like, I don't know why they had the pseudo semi-open world in Cyberpunk. It would have been better to just be more narratively driven, or to be like a Cyberpunk GTA.
I think,
which is what people were hoping for.
Or what, like more like Deus Ex?
Yeah, it kind of was an immersive sim. It has certainly the quality of like going into the bathroom and flushing a toilet, but yeah.
Let's have the okay, here's a problem. Here's solutions you can do. We won't tell you what to do.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of has that in the way that any immersive sim is such a dumb name, by the way.
Actually, I don't think Cyberpunk 2077 was an immersive sim. I don't think that's what made it like really cool.
No, it wasn't. There's what is it lacking that you have in Deus Ex?
I'm saying like that's the trick. People are tricked into thinking that it's so immersive. It's really not. What it is, it's more like watching a movie, but doing it from like an immersive sim outlook perspective. But it's really not an immersive sim. The actual experience is like a very slick, high-tech action sci-fi animated movie, because everything is very cinematic. You know?
Yeah, and it's such a strong narratively designed. So I don't even know why you have the side quests. Or
if you want an immersive sim, you would have like little to no much effort on cutscenes, and you would have like all spreadsheets. You would have menus upon menus, and you'd be able to tweak every single factor. To me, an immersive sim just isn't about graphics.
No. An immersive sim is a name for a game that's like Deus Ex or BioShock.
Yeah, and
it's not literally what it says.
Like realistic, it's not realistic.
Neither of those are realistic.
But immersive, as in like it's realistic in its attribute distribution. You know,
Rich, look up immersive sim. It's not a simulation game like a flight simulator. It's, or if I had just said a Deus Ex like. I don't know. It always was a dumb name. I think Thief counts as that. Excuse me.
Thief? I don't know.
Yeah, concept. What is? Read this off to us. Because I can't see it.
Really? Gosh, I'll highlight it. I could zoom in probably.
No, you have to zoom in a lot because my eyesight is dog shit.
Jesus.
What? Yeah, it's really bad. Or if it switched to the other monitor, or if it got up.
Yeah. Immersive sims typically task the player to make their way through levels and complete missions, but do not enforce the means by which the player does this. A common example would be where the character must get past a guard. The choice of how to do so would be up to this player. They may attempt to sneak around, use parkour or other similar abilities, aided with some equipment to slip them around.
Actually, that's true. That does describe Cyberpunk 2077 to a T. If that's the definition we're going with, and yeah, that pretty much.
Yeah, that's the definition I was referring to. Yeah.
I don't know, because when I think of like immersive sims, I think of like something very.
Give me a game example.
Not as fast. Like you said, you like Deus Ex. Deus Ex, you're constantly freezing time, right? Yeah.
I only know the original one.
Oh,
same.
You mean like you're pausing and looking at the menu, or looking at character builds or stuff like that?
Yeah, like that's how you. That's generally like that's how you make that like first person type game into an RPG, really. Like what Fallout does. You know, like you could turn on the VAT system or something, or
well, that's not an immersive sim. It's just a Bethesda. It's an FPS RPG.
Well, it's like an RPG where like it's really immersed in this world, but you're almost like kind of immersed. Like, okay, here's the problem I'm given. How do I solve this by using this world's logic?
Yeah. I don't know. It was just a name that took hold for a type of game that was like following off of, I think, System Shock being the first one.
No, I don't think so. I still don't. I think Cyberpunk 2077 is really just an RPG game at its core.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, yeah. I'm looking up the same subject matter as simulated system, broad array of player character, of player abilities, creative solutions to problems, as well as emergent gameplay beyond what was explicitly designed by the developer. Examples is Ultima Underworld, The Stygian Abyss, Thief, Thief 2, System Shock 1 and 2, the first Deus Ex. It's just it's a dumb name for. If it had come out later, it would have just been called a System Shock, like the way that people just started referring to, like, roguelikes.
But it's not a roguelike.
No, it's not.
So really, like, there's a difference between immersive and realistic. A realistic sim would be like fucking Gran Turismo or Flight Simulator.
Yeah, those are realistic sims. Yeah, a lot of roguelikes, just because of how simple the graphics are, can simulate a lot of systems. But I don't know, a certain level of simulation creates its own bizarre moon logic. Like when you're playing Dwarf Fortress, and it's doing all these things like intensely modeling geological formations or physics or engineering, but also allows really convoluted, absurdist engineering that has no grounding in reality, and the bizarre things that just naturally emerge from the gameplay of it.
Yeah. You ever heard of Project Zomboid?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
Project Zomboid is like a real-time version of a roguelike I used to play a lot called Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead.
I like Project Zomboid as a game that you don't necessarily have. Those are one of those games where you could just watch playthroughs of it.
Yeah.
Because it's different. It's a roguelike. That's the beauty. That's one of the
Seeing
reasons
someone who's really competent playing it, yeah, as opposed to you playing and dying a bunch.
Well, it's also, that's the beauty of roguelikes, is that it's perfectly harmonious with content generation.
Yeah, it's true. They do actually make for good Let's Plays because you're not dragged down in story or in long cutscenes. It's streaming a presumably skilled person manipulating or knowing how to manage this complex kind of game.
Damn, you just helped me out. Like, I was trying really hard to think of a game to stream because I don't want to stream like just AAA games. Like that becomes
roguelikes are much better because the randomization, the amusement and entertainment of like someone failing while playing. I used to watch a bunch of Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead Let's Plays because it was fun to see people more competent than me who have like an encyclopedic knowledge of all the fiddly little systems. Are you familiar with that?
What?
Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead.
I am. I don't think I ever play that.
Project Zomboid has been I don't know if they ever accused it of like plagiarism, but it's very much the same game, but Zomboid is in real time and with voxels as opposed to sprites.
I really like I like fighting games too, but that's like, I think that's a different kind of autism.
That's nigga shit.
Yeah.
What?
That's like nigga shit. It is, dude.
Yeah, I'm not black enough to play fighting games.
Or Asian enough.
Yeah.
I like the anime ones, but I'm not like a huge fan.
Yeah, it's interesting that fighting games really are a genre of video games dominated by blacks and Asians with minimal white players. I know there's a bunch of white players, but still. An internet friend of mine is a very skinny, pale Italian guy from the South. And he had trouble making friends, and he started going to fighting game tournaments. And then he got an all-black friend group of, like, Southern nerds. And he'll be hanging out with them. He's the only white guy, albeit he's Italian. And he's just saying nigga all the time. And they're blasting Southern hip-hop.
Oh, it's fucking rules, bro.
Yeah, this is going to be very racist. But
go ahead.
The reason why blacks and Asians are so good at fighting games is because to get to the highest level of ability in playing fighting games, right? What's the number one thing you need? Do you guys know?
What? Fast twitch muscle reflexes?
What about you? What do you say, Rich?
Or
martial spirit?
No, the truth is you need time. Now, Asians have no social life. They just study, stay indoors. So, yeah, they have a lot of time on their hands. They play video games. Black people, they don't really do much of anything. You know, they don't go to school or work. So they play video games, play fighting games, and they have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So this is why these two peoples dominate fighting games. It's because both races, in their own way,
Have a lot of free time to
specifically
practice it.
the young male populace
Yeah.
of each specific respective race. They just happen to have long stretches of a lot of time on their hands. So they both play a lot of fighting games. And this is how black people and Asian people are the best at fighting games. It's time.
I like my idea of Asians having fine motor reflexes, high dexterity.
That's actually bullshit. The truth is, it's actually time. It's because,
Time makes sense and the focus.
and that's again, this is why black people can do all the TikTok shit. This is why Asians can also do their own little TikTok shit. The reason why they're the masters of the useless skills to post on the internet is because they both have a lot of time on their hands.
Well, what? It's
Yeah.
also like having good memory, basically.
Yeah,
Roll a combo for attacks.
Listen,
Yeah.
you'd be surprised, right? How much you could remember if you just repeat it over and over again for very long stretches of time.
That's true too, as well.
Yeah, rote memorization is actually a pretty universal human skill.
Hells yeah, I
If you
use
just
it all
spend the time, yeah.
And that's why I'm like good at swordsmanship. Really, is because I actually spend the time to remember shit. I don't just like I'm not natural. I'm an active study. You know, so same thing with fighting games. It's like these people are an active study because they do it all the fucking time. And same thing like what you see on TikTok. Like, well, how does that Asian person just fucking like fold pieces of paper so well? Because he has so much fucking time. Or it's like, how does that black person do like triple backflips in like the project so well? It's because he has nothing but time. Yeah?
That also feels like there's a physical benefit there. But yeah, if you're young and you're very physically fit and nothing but free time to practice your backflips.
Yeah. But I mean, same goes for like different age sectors, right? Because like we get older, especially around our age, like late 20s, early 30s, like young men, they get into cars.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like you have a choice. It's either I'm going to be chasing bitches and draining my money that way, or I'm going to chase like extremely overpriced used car parts that they don't make anymore, you know, to put on my shit box. I know what I'd rather choose. I know what has more dignity. You know, like I'm not going to live like a light-skinned dude with expensive clothes, okay?
Well, you're not down in Atlanta getting your pussy blown out.
I'm not doing that shit. I don't listen to The Weeknd. I don't fucking do
I
Molly
wonder
or
what
Weeknd.
Atlantan Asians are like.
Probably all about booling and making bread.
Probably kind of hood, yeah. Like that one chick with the black scent.
Aquafina?
No, the other one. She was like on a have you ever heard like on a train? Someone's drawing her.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Was she from Atlanta? She was from Brooklyn. I thought.
Brooklyn, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine happened.
I
in
still
Atlanta.
felt like that was fake, but yes.
I think people actually talk like that in real life, like off camera. So I assume it's. I guess
Was she
it's
told not to? Was she told not to say the N word as an Asian woman?
probably.
It's all good, man.
Oh, she's pretty hot.
Yeah. God, an irritating voice.
Are you
Oh
talking
yeah,
about?
what's with Aquafina? She from like South?
I think it is just a voice she's putting on for a comedic bit. This is what passes for humor among Asian American women.
Doing blackface.
Yeah.
I don't know. Aquafina's from New York, isn't she?
Oh, she's from New York. Okay.
Yeah, she's like, she has that song. Literally says, "New York City, bitch. That's where I come from. Not where you moved to on mom and dad's trust fund. New York City, bitch. That's where I'm rolling. Come and get your iPad stolen," or some shit. I don't know. You know, that song was pretty cool when it came out.
Stony Brook. She's from Stony Brook. Are you kidding me?
That's not surprising.
Wait, what? What'd you
She's
say?
from Stony Brook.
Stony Brook.
It's upstate.
Well,
She was born in Stony Brook?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
question, is she a wood?
She's not real.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Nah, she's too fried for me. Everyone's like, "What, Chris? You think you're too good for Aquafina? you think this pussy ain't good enough for you?"
Oh, there's some flushing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Ah,
half Korean,
fitting.
half Chinese, I think.
That's
That's
too
a very,
Asian looking.
That's a
for
very
me.
New York ass mix. I must say, like to be from Stony Brook, half New York. I mean, half
half
Chinese.
New York Chinese, half New York Korean.
That's pretty baller.
Just choking yourself constantly.
It's probably gonna be like my daughter. Like my daughter.
Yeah, for sexual reasons, choking herself constantly.
my daughter's.
You're gonna marry a Chinese woman, Chris?
Probably. There's so many of them. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. There are. Even considering the one-child policy, there's still a huge number of Chinese women out there.
Yep.
Imagine if only we had accepted that donation of Chinese women from Chairman Mao.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I accepted that shit. I have them stored away somewhere. No one can find them. My precious stash of Chinese girls.
Yeah, it was Jason Statham on your ass.
Oh God, Jason Statham did. He did have yellow fever for a bit.
Yeah, a lot of his... Is he married to a Chinese woman?
Is he? Let's see.
Jason Statham wife. I'm just thinking of like Transporter. There's a few other movies where he has a Chinese bitch. Like I think that's the Mega,
The Meg, it's called.
the Meg.
You know what the cool part is?
Like, it's crazy how I fucked up that name so many times.
if you do fall in love,
Damn, she's white.
If you do fall in love, like settle when you're actually like older,
Yeah.
and you fall in love with an older but attractive woman, at least you know like she's already old, so
Yeah.
she's not gonna grow up into some busted person. You know,
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
She's already fucking like in her 40s.
Or you can look at their moms, but yeah.
I mean, still, some people really don't look like their moms. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, like Rumor Willis looks entirely like Bruce Willis. We were talking about
We
this
said that.
before. Yeah, we're already going over Will Trot territory of busted celebrity daughters.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. There's this one actress that I recently started noticing.
Mhm.
She just seems like she was bred to be like a Hollywood child sex sacrifice.
Who is it?
I don't know her name. She was in she was an Equalizer.
Okay.
What's her name? Equalizer co-stars. No, don't type in that. Oh yeah, whatever. You got to give it a second.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, Chloe Grace Moretz.
I think Moretz, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she was like specifically made.
I haven't seen her much lately, so I guess they child sacrificed her.
No, she's just a lesbian now.
Oh, well, good for her. I mean, that's
Well, bad for her, yeah.
that's the sacrifice.
Let's see, destroy your career, yeah. Look at Ellen Page.
You mean
Elliot Page?
Yeah.
I thought it was L word.
Ellen Page.
That'd be great.
That's a
a
sick
trans man changing his name to L word.
Oh my god! I'm just like, I took a second. I was like, did I really just come up with that?
Yeah, that's a good one.
L word. Oh man, too good. No, I mean, I like Ellen Page or Elliot Page. I don't know. I just don't like any of. I mean, it would be good. It would help me deal with it better if Elliot Page actually had good roles. But so far, everything that Elliot Page has been utter dog shit.
Yeah, it's like he's just not as good as his sister Ellen Page. Oh, how about if this with trans people, you just pretend that their dead name is just a sibling they had that died?
Oh man, that's a good one.
Yeah, you're just constantly being Lilith. You're just constantly being haunted by the ghost of your dead brother Kevin.
Well, the sad thing is, there was this show called The Umbrella Academy.
Yeah,
And that show started with Ellen Page, and then it developed into Elliot Page. And
does
so
the character transition on the show?
yeah, but they barely talk about it. It's like, oh, I noticed you changed your hair. And it's like, yeah, my name is guy's name now. Like, it's like, oh, okay. And that was it. Like, that was the whole speed bump. They just had to just change the protagonist's gender. And no one talked. I'm glad no one really talked about. I mean, the show isn't even that good, but still, like, it was very awkward. I bet like Elliot just doesn't even want to think about that show.
I don't even know what he's thinking about. He seems very starved. He
He's
has
fucking miserable.
the ab implants.
Yeah.
Imagine if Elliot gets married to the Wachowski sisters.
Oh, God. And then gets pregnant.
Why are you
And then
laughing?
gets pregnant by them.
Oh no! And they have the most beautiful baby that looks just like Keanu Reeves. Oh man! And then that's
Oh boy.
and then Keanu.
What are the Wachowski sisters' names? Isn't it wild how both of them transitioned?
Yeah, it's insane.
Wait,
For a while,
So
only one
Elliot
had
Page
transitioned.
gets pregnant by the Wachowski sisters. They have a baby. who they have to send back in time, and that baby is Keanu Reeves.
I'm curious how they have.
Yeah. What are you guys Googling right now?
The Wachowski sisters' names. It's like Lily and something. Lana, that's it. Yeah, Lana.
Wachowski.
Wow, your internet's the loading on the screen is.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's because
Lana.
it's because we're running the recording, I think.
Yeah, that
And
makes
it's
sense.
taking up some RAM.
Damn, that's rough.
Lily and Lana.
Do those count as dreadlocks? Is that
Yeah.
a culture? Ooh, is that a cultural appropriation?
I guess so.
Lily and Lana, huh?
Jesus, this is so rough.
What were their dead names? I forgot. Steve and something.
Yeah.
L-word. L-word and Elric. Eleanor.
Ailden, like Aiden or
Really?
Kai. Oh man, there's a lot of Kai is a very trans man coded name.
Ugh.
I have a good trans name, just Chris. With a K.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, you transition, but you go from you go to spelling it KRIS.
Like-
Yeah.
Not Christina.
And my
Yeah,
initials
like a
would-
Chris knife. God.
Oh, this is rough, bro.
How old is she?
57.
Just let her die in peace at this point, you know?
6'3".
Imagine being a 6'3" woman who looks like that.
I
Hey,
would,
her wife's hot.
I would
Yeah.
play in the WNBA.
Are they still married?
Yeah, I guess so.
Huh.
And she's in movies?
Yeah. Hey, she's a hot wife.
Dude, Hollywooders just live in another fucking universe, man. They live in a different world. I mean, that's why, like, I think when like super famous actors come into contact with regular people or people who just aren't like A-lister famous, like they just
Yeah.
don't look at you as human. They don't look at you as like an equal being, because if they did, it would make them feel so alienated from reality. Because the minute they start to like have to feel like a normal, quote unquote, normal person, everything in their psyche just comes crack. They realize how much of a freak they are. They realize how fucking weird they're being for no fucking reason. They realize how many people they probably like fucked with actively when, you know, without meaning to. And it's like all that shit just catches up the minute you let your ego drop. You know, if you're like a super famous guy, even if you're like Elvis or David Bowie or John Lennon or Jimi Hendrix or any one of these.
I mean, I know they talk about going to a country where no one knows who they are, where celebrities often enjoy being able to do that.
Yeah, but that
So-
never works anymore. You
Yeah,
can't-
I know. It used to work less so for Americans, but British could come to America sometimes if they're big in England but unknown in America. They could live in LA.
Oh, that's nice. Good for them.
They still had money, so they would have a relatively normal life, and people did not know they were a celebrity.
No,
in
it's the best of
England.
both worlds. Not only do they get to like go to like a Starbucks without getting harassed, but they could still get invited to the parties with.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. They get invited to the most exclusive parties. That
party.
sounds like a good life.
Yeah, with like Michael Cera and fucking.
Seth Rogen. Yeah,
the
these are your
cool
top
people.
stars.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Will Smith.
I've hung out near Michael Cera on 2 separate occasions, so I, in some ways, am equivalent to someone who went to a party with
The
him.
upper echelons of
Yeah.
society. Yep. Can't forget about Will Smith though. Will Smith.
I would love to hang out with 90s era Will Smith. It would feel very depressing to hang out with him now.
Nah, I wouldn't. Honestly, I would treat them the same.
Mm.
If I met Will Smith now, I would treat him just like 90s era Will Smith. And if I, you know, honestly, I would treat all these celebrities the same. I think like I'm comfortable with the way I would treat celebrities because I wouldn't say anything bad to them. I wouldn't try to make any of their lives more difficult. I would just treat them like a person, you know, and like I think that's very important because like I'm glad, you know, like I'm not the kind of person who like hates someone enough to want to like make their life more difficult or who loves someone enough to like make yourself like just lose all dignity in front of them. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nice to. Well, it's hard to not get starstruck just because someone's so famous. It is a noticeable effect you'll experience.
I mean, I get pretty nervous sometimes, depending on what it is.
Yeah. Well, you're in a lucky position, Rich, because you mostly just see like 90s indie musicians you recognize who
Yeah.
are old men unknown to everyone except you. And they're so enthused that not only is a young man, but a young black man knows who they are.
I mean, I don't know what's worse. It's like meeting a famous person and then they don't like you, or meeting a famous person and they like you so much they have to suck you into their world. Like both sound pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was like most are chill as long as you're cool about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I
yeah.
know you know, but I can harass you.
Yeah. I don't know, but it is fun because, like, how many musicians have you run into from an 80s or 90s indie band, Rich?
Like
You in
4,
particular.
probably.
Yeah,
4 or
in New
5.
York.
I mean, I've walked past celebrities like, who are famous.
Yeah, that's
Like, I've walked past Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, I was like walking down the street for like something like TaskRabbit job. I look around, like, oh, it's Jake Gyllenhaal having a sandwich. Like, we instantly lock eyes with each other.
Mhm.
That
I like doing something like giving a thumbs up and like dodging away to show I recognize them, but also won't bother them.
I like just giving you a nod.
Yeah.
Like, I know who you are, man. Which I think they respect.
Oh man, like 15 years ago, that's around San Diego Comic Con with some of my internet friends, and one of them saw who's the guy from Robot Chicken?
Zephyrin?
No,
Seth Green.
Yeah, Seth Green. We were outside on the street smoking, and in the outdoor patio there was Seth Green, and one of my friends were like almost right next to him is like pointing at him to the rest of the group, and no one's noticing. And Seth Green got annoyed and got up and went inside the bar he was at. Due to my friend trying and failing, like directly pointing at and saying it's Seth Green within like earshot of him.
Yeah, that does suck pretty bad.
I heard he was a fucking dick.
It's possible.
I would say he's being a dick, but honestly, my friend was being obnoxious and really autistic.
Well,
about
sure.
it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That's probably true, but still, like, I don't think I would actively ever try to approach any of these people.
I didn't talk to him. I was in a crowd of people with like Daniel Radcliffe.
Nice.
I wonder who he was. He had a beard and everything. Like, you definitely tell it's him.
I've seen John Noble, I think.
Really? Where?
At San Diego that time.
Nice.
Where it was, I'm sure it was for Fringe and or Lord of the Rings he was talking about.
I think the most famous person I ever talked to was Maury Povich. He's not that famous. I think he's pretty famous.
Yeah, he is.
At least in America, he's fucking famous.
Um,
I'm sure he's got friends in Saudi Arabia.
That one time we met BJ Novak.
Met him. We saw BJ Novak, and an acquaintance of ours harassed him.
Like, pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah, same.
Like, bro, you don't fucking yell his fucking name in the street. You get that enough.
At the very least, yell something about him going to high school with BAP.
Yeah.
What's BAP?
Bronze Age pervert, a right-wing Twitter personality.
I remember.
But they were high school classmates, him and BJ Novak. And they like played pranks together as lads.
That's cute. I mean, I'm not saying that like sarcastically or sardonically. I mean it. That's cute. When I say something's cute, I mean it, okay? Like, I really feel it's a...
Don't need to explain yourself. I agree. I follow.
I'm just joking.
I think I saw Woody Allen in a like Upper West Side cafe once,
It probably was.
and he was sitting with a guy who looked like Alan Moore. I don't think it was Alan Moore, but it would have been amusing if Woody Allen and Alan Moore were hanging out in a cafe together,
Discussing the next masterpiece of the century.
discussing the next underage grooming masturbation piece of the next century.
Our friend met up with Al. He sat next to him at like a park bench. The guy was a cross, but still. He's like, oh shit, it's Willie Allen. And Suni Previn.
Oh damn, yeah.
My dad was working at when he told this story, it was funny too. He was working at a store in Brooklyn, Stalwart City, I think.
Yeah.
And Denzel Washington walks in,
Mm.
and my dad tried to play it cool, but he was like, he said something. He was like, "You're that guy," and then Denzel Washington was like, "Oh, is that right?" And he didn't ask for an autograph or anything. My dad looked outside, and Denzel had like a black tinted out limo with all of, as my dad put it, all of his N-word friends.
Yeah,
And then they just, and he said they were all chill. You know,
Does your dad speak with an accent?
no.
That's a shame.
He speaks like I do, honestly.
No.
Probably better.
Damn.
Like better.
I was
English.
kind of hoping that your dad
Same.
would have like a comedic accent.
No, not at all. He's more well read than I am, I think. I think he's definitely read more books than me, so
I'm sure he's also older than you, but yeah.
and he's been in this country longer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say he's pretty literate when it comes to English.
We gotta hang with your dad sometime.
Actually, you know what's funny? He also speaks Spanish really well.
Wow,
awesome.
that's great. That's great. Oh man, that's wonderful.
So he speaks Korean, Spanish, and English.
Mm.
Probably definitely some Japanese because his kids speak Japanese too.
Oh, interesting.
This is just all from just like working, you know,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
New York City. But yeah, the way he said, yeah, him and all of his friends, like,
I want to meet your dad so bad, dude. That's awesome.
yeah, he's a really cool guy.
It'd be very fitting if you did become a cop.
I think so too. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
It would be fucking sick. Maybe it's for my kid. You know, my kid's born in Queens, same shitty hospital, and it's like, son, you're gonna be the first cop in the family. Oh, that would be so
Yeah.
sick. Maybe I should, and then I'll teach him the samurai way so he could apply that to his policing. Oh man, yeah, good times. Yeah, you just want city jobs, you know? Like,
I don't know. It's just been a fixation of mine since yesterday. I've been
I like
thinking
it.
about the idea.
Yo,
we
if
all
you-
get city jobs.
If you really want to earn your place in the city and like take root, that's a good way to do it. But you got to be willing to put in the work. First of all, you got to quit weed.
Yeah.
Second of all, you got to be prepared for drinking twice as much as we do now. Because if there's one thing that these city guys just do all the time for some reason is drink.
Mm.
I don't know why. Probably
Yeah,
because it's all they can do.
I've asked you before.
What?
You haven't seen the original Taking a Pelham 123.
No. Oh wait, I did see it on fucking. I didn't see the movie, but I saw it like on a streaming service.
Mm.
I should watch it.
Yeah. It's such a great 70s New York picture. Sorry.
No, I mean, so look, if you guys are thinking about like city, start with a union job. You ever work a union job before?
No, I haven't.
What about you, Rich?
Nope. Nope. Not at all.
Well, if there's one thing,
Could we see? Oh, sorry, go on.
Wait, what were you saying?
If we all got city jobs, could we have a network of influence across the city?
Possibly.
Or at least connections across the different government offices?
Yes and no. Depends on the job. One, two. Really depends on where you end up working.
Yeah.
Because if they stick you all the way out, like way uptown, doing whatever it is the fucking city needs you to do, and you're not around anyone, then yeah. But if you're like a train conductor, then yeah, I'm sure you have the opportunity to see and talk to some crazy fucking people and individuals. But there's also the hours you work. For example, if you're a cop or a nurse or something, or an EMT, then you're gonna end up working like 2 a.m., 3, and what the fuck kind of people are you gonna end up meeting there?
Yeah.
You know, there's no networking done in those hours.
Yeah.
So the city jobs where you are work hour and busy working hours, you're too busy to be utilizing.
Yeah, that's true. No, I meant people you meet through the union, through the city government.
The jobs where you eternity around their unions, like forest department. Those are the first two I can top of my head. So the sanitation, and they all gray shit going. You know, like each one has their fraternity for a reason. You know, if they could be 100% transparent about everything, there wouldn't be a need for fraternity, would there? There wouldn't be a need for such strict, tight unions, you know? So yeah, but if all three of us could become cops, that'd be sick.
I don't want to become a cop. I want to be some other kind of city worker.
None of us want to be cops, but we end up having to become cops because it's like the coolest and the easiest one to get. You know, it's like they'll let animals with records on the streets with a badge. You know, like they would let us in. Yo, we become cops. We get so good at it, and if we're lucky, they put us in the same precinct.
Ooh, yeah. Well, then we could have a buddy cop comedy between the three of us.
Yeah.
It's just Richie and I having a bunch of cowardly pratfalls and like running away from danger, then you bailing us out.
Oh man, that'd be so funny.
A lot of just hanging out in the office trying to avoid doing work.
Now, obviously, we would have to be separate at first because, like, the way when you're a rookie, what they do is they assign you with a more experienced cop, and that experienced cop pretty much decides whether or not you either stay on probationary period or you get fully let on into the rotation, and it's really just you sucking up to that older cop, and it's kind of like being stuck with a good or bad college professor. You know, because they could just be a complete scumbag who doesn't give a fuck. Maybe they're retiring like right after you get on and they just don't care. And maybe that's good. You know, maybe that'll work in your favor. Maybe they'll just let you in on the spot. Or they'll just be like a dick about it, you know? But, you know, I'm sure it's really just you got to appeal to their empathy because you got to like look at them and be like, yo, you were in my shoes at one point too. I'm sure you were trying your best. You succeeded, didn't you? I'm trying my best, so help me succeed. Okay, the truth is I've been watching this very gripping, like, realistic drama series about cops.
Yeah.
It's really fucking intense. There's like there's hardly a moment of like brevity or humor. It's all just like 24/7 like serious cop shit.
Yeah. Like what, the next 48 hours? Or the next 48 hours? The first 48, I think it is.
No, it takes place. It's kind of like
It's a drama?
Yeah,
Fiction?
like
Yes.
True Detective.
What is it called?
Fuck, I forgot what it's called. It's about a girl. It's about a lady, an experienced veteran lady cop with a rookie guy cop. And I think they're in Los Angeles.
Is that what Nathan Fillion?
No,
It's a Lethal Weapon.
just look up cop show with veteran chick and rookie guy.
Rookie Dick.
Rookie dick.
Rookie Dick. Rookie Dick sounds like a Japanese guy naming an American character.
Yeah, rookie dick. Like a porn star. Oh, right away.
On Call?
On Call. Yeah, that's the fucking show. It's popular. Oh, a popular cop show that fits this description of blah blah blah. Yeah, it's kind of like The Shield done right though. It's a hard boiled cop show, but the spin on it is that the main hard boiled cop character is a chick.
Yeah.
She's a woman, and her sordid past.
This guy's name.
What
Rich
is it?
Ting.
Yeah. He plays the badass gung ho. That's me. I'm the guy. I'm the guy that bills you
He's supposed to be
guys out.
Japanese too, which is the funniest part. He's like actually Chinese.
Playing a Japanese cop, yeah, on the West Coast. But he's like the badass super cop. He's the mentor to the veteran cop, basically. He's the mentor to the main experienced cop.
Oh, he looks like a really gay face. Looks like a Asian Bogdanovich twin.
Yeah, he's got like fuck me eyes.
Just Asian guys getting giga chatification surgery.
Yeah.
Like Arthur, who we met.
What?
Arthur Quan Lee.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
had him prior to him going insane.
Yo, you got to check out this show, bro. On Call. It's hardcore, bro. Hard boiled. I mean, in retrospect, it's not that good, but it's worth a watch because
Well,
Correct,
you're not
Zach.
selling it to me, man. If even you're saying it's not that good, it's
right,
pretty
that's true.
just-
I do have very low standards.
Yeah, you do have very low standards.
But it's because like it's not that I only specifically want to watch bad shit. It's just I have to watch it all. You know, like I have to. But some things I just know are like a blatant waste of time, of course. But like shit like this, like I know it's bad, but I know it's not a waste of time for me. You know, because I learned something about like the standards, like that they're trying to push onto people. You know.
What's our no? Actually, as you said before, we don't need to take breaks with 3 mics because we can just keep talking and maintain the same equilibrium.
Yeah, bro. Cop shows.
What if we all try to What if we all joined different parts of civil service and then just took the city down in a terrorist attack? I'm
can't
sure
s-
this will not be disqualifying from service. I'm not serious about any of this.
Okay, that's a good disclaimer.
No, but I just like the idea of having a whole network of dudes all throughout the city government.
Hypothetically,
Yeah.
So you'd have to have one dude working at the Department of Transportation. You'd have to have one dude working at the DMV to deal with like credentials and fake IDs and such. You'd have to have one dude working in the police force for sure.
Mhm.
That's the hardest thing. That takes the most time. And you have to embed
It'd be a guy in the garbage men. Sanitation.
sanitation. Yeah, you need a guy in sanitation so that he could like get a truck and uniforms and all that shit. Very useful. Every heist movie, there's always a guy dressed in like something of like. That's the thing. Like every heist movie has like fake city worker shtick. You know that trope. It's like, oh, like how do you get out of this one? Oh, we got like fake cop uniforms and we sneak out with the cops, or we'd say we got fake paramedic uniforms or fake firefighter suits, or we just stole them, so we walk out as firefighters or the SWAT team or whatever. So that's really what you need. That's why the most important guy, honestly, is the one you have for the DMV, because the DMV guy could really, if he's in the right position, he could really get you around some roadblocks, some bureaucratic roadblocks to like get a plan in motion. Also, it really helps to get a guy in like civic engineering, like civil planning, because they have access to all the blueprints. However, I'm sure that's public knowledge, public access. Like I'm pretty sure you should be able to see the floor plans of like all once publicly listed real estate, but you have to actually go to the depository. See, you can learn a lot from watching movies, man. Okay, like you could.
I do watch a lot from watching movies.
I'm just saying, like as an uneducated twat such as myself, I'm still pretty knowledgeable about certain things. But then again, I think there's a difference between like just watching it and not retaining the information versus like watching it and retaining the information. I think I wasn't always like that though. I didn't always like watch things while retaining information, but I did make that switch at a young age. I think it was when I learned how to like synthesize. Cause like I think when I was like really young, I used to see a lot of like compartmentalization between like my Korean home life versus like my American social life / school life. I mean, they were the one and the same thing as a little kid, but like, I acted like an American in school around like the children, and then when I went back home to my grandma, I had to like
You had to switch to Asian mode.
Yeah, and it was like very different. But it wasn't until like I reached a certain point of my adolescence where I saw a lot of like. At first, I thought it was gaps. At first, I thought it was seeing like, oh, you guys don't do this right, and you guys don't do this right. But really, I was just like synthesizing. I was basically just doing my own thing that was, in theory, supposed to be superior because that's how synthesization is supposed to work. You see the gaps in both things because you have firsthand experience of both things, and then you try to like fill it with what the other each offers that the other doesn't. And once you learn how to synthesize, that's really the trick to becoming a quote unquote fast learner. That's how you learn everything. Is you learn how to synthesize. You can't just learn everything like quickly,
Rote or by memory or by only viewing it one way.
or from cold start. Like you can't just learn everything from a cold start. Yes, you have to start like the first thing you become good at. Yeah, you basically have to cold start that. However, it's often like if you get a kid really good at like football, and then you give him like a construction job as a teenager, it's like, how many yards do you think that is, kid? He's like 150. What makes you say that? It's like, oh, I don't know. It's about like this much of a football field. So it's like, yeah, these things really do carry over, and that is synthesis. Same thing in like the military. They always look for guys like, how many of you were mechanics? How many of you have an ASC certification? Raise your hand. All right, we got a job for you. How many of you guys have an A+ certification in like network security and shit? Raise your hand. All right, we got a job for you. Because then they could build on top of that and put your soldering on top of that to make you synthesize. Synthesis, very important. It's the number one skill that makes you, like I said, a fast learner. Because if you just like have nothing to reference from, it's going to take you a lot longer to like make something stick in your memory as opposed to like having a really good reference point. Like I know it sounds stupid, but like learning how bicycles work front and back really helped me like with cars. I guess it's not just bicycles though. It's like bicycles along with computers, along with making music. I guess like signal processing. There's also my like past experience with like ceramics, woodworking, and all that shit. I think that those skills were very important. Like there was, because when I was in intermediate school, there was two paths you could take. You could take like the music route. You were one of the band kids. You know, you played like a classical instrument along with the rest of the school, the class band, or you got stuck in like wood shop, stained glass, ceramic, arts and crafts, and shit like that. And I was in the latter. So I think that's what allowed me from a young age, like from the ages of 11 to 13, to get like really used to working with hardware and like actually crafting things.
And doing manual tasks and like the mechanics of a bicycle or of an automobile.
Yeah. I mean, I get the schism. I get the like the gap, the learning curve. It's when a layman who doesn't really know how to take something apart looks at something, they don't see the possibilities of like, oh, I could swap this with this, I could alter this, I could make modification, I could just drill a hole in this bracket and lift this bracket so then mount it here instead. Like instead of thinking like that, they look at it as like something that's like, oh, I don't know how they could have ever put this together. And I'm telling you, it's the tools. It's once you get in touch with like tools and understand, it's like they really do make a tool for everything. Like if you look at something, like you ever just buy something and try to put something together and you're like, this doesn't work, this is defective, like I can't put this part with this part and I just wasted money. It's like, no, if you have the right tools, you can make it work. Like there's always a way to make it work if you know the principles of engineering. One, there's the structural shit. Two, there's like the electrical shit, the mechanical shit, and like I'm realizing like I have a rudimentary basis of understanding of all these things. Like, you know, the headlight shit. That would have been a pain in the ass if I didn't know how circuits work. But I know that you need a power wire and you need a ground wire. Ground wire gets stuck to a piece of metal or like a metal surface. Power wire has to like basically go connect all the way back into the power source, which is your battery. And in between you have a switch. And that switch completes the circuit when it goes on and off. And like if you know how these things work, you could pretty much put anything together, you know? Everything else is just like relays. That's what a circuit board is. That's what a CPU processor is. They're just circuit boards for like control switches. So yeah, I mean, there's that, and then there's the mechanical stuff, which is like gear ratios. You know, like, oh, when this size gear makes contact with this size gear, they're going to spin at a certain rate and generate this much torque. That's to me that's like, I like that. That stuff is fun. You know, like when you're able to like change mechanical pieces of a machine to make the directly change the output. Wait, what?
Yeah, I go to the bathroom, I said.
All right, we could take a recess.
Oh, I was gonna say if you wanted to keep talking.
We had Rich over here scrolling on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we scrolled past this blurred out video of a couple fucking in a Tesla while driving. Which is cute. Good for them. They're still alive, young, stupid, young, dumb, horny,
It
stupid.
wasn't a Tesla, though. So I guess the Republicans. At one time, someone drove past in a Tesla. I would assume they were polyamorous.
You cannot fuck like that in a regular, naturally aspirated car.
Yeah, it's true.
Yo, Rich.
Imagine if it was Imagine how the big factor of having self-driving cars is that you can fuck in them while you're driving to your location.
Yeah. Yo, Rich, can you look at the bottom bar?
Yeah.
You see the red flashing in the right?
Yeah.
All the way to the right. No, not
the
that.
bottom icon, bottom right icon. That one.
Yeah. Wait, you were just over it.
This one?
What?
Oh,
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it say?
Avoid people who are close to people who dislike you. They are dangerous.
See, that's what I'm saying. All right, so I had this folder called shit quotes, and Richie was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, these are just these like quote memes I scroll past on Facebook that I think are really awful, but a lot of people seem to like them because they just appeal to like their fucking narcissism."
It appeals to the people within demographics you're friends with. Yeah, excellent, Rich. Avoid people who are close to
Carmen,
people
you just
who dislike
totally
you.
fucking shut up. But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, sorry, man.
No, it's all good. You're right, though. You're
You're
right.
surrounded by dumbass like.
I'm not
working class-
surrounded. They're just friends of people on Facebook.
That's
Right?
right.
Like my friends on Facebook are people that like this shit, and I'm like, God, this sucks. Like your brain is just bad. Like
They are dangerous.
Yep.
Like just these words together just denote like if you buy this like you're a bad person. Like you
Was
are
it?
the bad person.
What if it was avoid pussy, which is close to people who dislike you?
I don't know.
It
Okay.
is dangerous.
So it's like this was actually like not as bad as some of the ones that I was gonna fill this folder with. So that I was gonna make a post. I was like, these are all the shit quotes that I've seen some of you like. You know who you are. You should be ashamed of yourselves. So they could look at the common theme would be this. Just fuck. And I just got lazy, but I should start this and I should finish it. Like some of them would be like, if he doesn't post pictures about you daily, run. He doesn't give a fuck about you. And I'm like, what the fuck? And like people took this shit seriously. I was like, yo, this is bad. Don't buy into this shit. I don't know. What's your take on that stuff?
yeah,
Not that
just,
you care, but it's like, it's just funny that
It's very tacky to me. It's very dumb. And I suppose to some people it's inspirational. Perhaps
no,
it's
you
like,
see it as dumb. I see it as like nightmare fuel, because
That's
I'm
fair
like
too.
I'm looking into their psyche at this point, and it's like you really like subscribe to this. Like you you think like avoid people who are close to people who dislike you. They are
just cut off anyone that's connected to someone you have beef with.
like they're dangerous. It's not even that you should cut them off. It's that they're dangerous. Like this is you're not just a narcissist at this point. You're like a paranoid freak. Like there's got to be it's like some form of narcissistic paranoia or some shit. But yeah, there's some other ones. Oh yeah, the ones that are supposed
Open
to.
the other one, Rich.
No, there are no
only
other
one?
ones. No,
Just one.
It was the same one. Yeah, the same
Oh.
one twice. But yeah, anyway, that's
You should just put them together and randomize them. So you just have a button you can press to randomize a quote that these kind of people would share.
and then like farm likes.
Yeah.
Yo, you're dangerous, bro. You're dangerous. You're dangerous.
Imagine you're at a bar with your bros and you just approach a woman, solitary woman, and say, "You should avoid this guy. He's sexually dangerous."
Oh, that'll get you so much pussy though. The women will be like, "Oh yeah, I bet."
How
he
about
isn't
this for a Terrorisk branded T-shirt?
Sexually dangerous.
Yeah, sexually dangerous.
Oh my god.
We have a Hori that says Terrorisk sexually dangerous.
No, we'll make it like sexually dangerous in big English letters that mock Japanese lettering shaping, and we'll have a big anime girl doing an orgasm face, and it says terror, and that'll be just for Richie. Richie, would you rock that?
Absolutely.
Oh, and we'll have a drift car in it. Like you'll see like a drift car in like
That
manga.
rips.
Yeah.
Rich, I'm surprised you don't have one of Johnny's illustrations.
I do have a shirt.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, I mean, it's Q Park Manual shirt.
Yeah, nice.
It's an anime girl being tortured out of the
He should give you one of each of his shirts because you're the best model for them. And have a fashion show with them.
yeah. Well, it's just one, right? The one design he has in the sweater.
You should put more designs out.
Yeah, you probably should, honestly.
Johnny?
Yeah,
Our roommate.
Yeah, you should put more designs up.
of his anime girl logo stuff.
Are they good anime girls?
They're okay. It's trace work, but it's actually decent. There's some that you can really see the flaws and amateurishness of it.
Makes it more charming, though.
Yeah.
Well, practice makes perfect. That's what I always say. Because practice is what's perfect, not the results thereafter. It's you practicing. That is perfection. Very deep. So profound.
I'm very gratitude for it.
Very gratitude for it. Everyone say your manifest. We should all be more gratitude. Oh my god, this my friend was telling me in the group chat because he's like going through a lot of work trouble.
Yeah.
Like he was a trucker, and he wasn't like in a union or anything. He was just a trucker working for some dude, and he got laid off. And
An independent contractor?
I think he was working as an independent contractor. Yeah, technically. And he recently got laid off, and they were still jerking him around. Like they were like, "Oh, can you do me a favor and go there and pick up the load off this guy?" And he's like, "You just laid me off. You gave me like whatever. Now you're asking me for fucking favors. It's like, fuck you, pal. And then like his truck had problems, and then he tried to pull to the side of the road, and they worked it out where he's like, all right, now you go. You could just leave the truck there. So he tries to leave the truck there and then go to get a rental car so he could drive back to he's out of state right now.
Yeah.
From his home. So that he could drive home to his wife and kid. And apparently he can't rent the car because his wife back in his home state in Texas has the credit card. And he's in fucking bumfuck like Colorado or some shit. I don't know. And like now he has to take a Greyhound. And he's like saying like, I don't think I've ever been
doing a Greyhound, your trucker job on a Greyhound, where you're just like loading all of your cargo into the base of the Greyhound bus and just saying, no, it's fine, I can fit all my stuff in here, and then driving off.
It's like, yep, round trip. Anyway, and then he's like, so he has to take a bus, and like, actually, modern Greyhounds aren't nearly that bad. You just sleep on it, and
I always have trouble sleeping on a bus or on a plane.
I've
never been on a train like that.
Just put like your jacket over your lap so you could jerk off.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm sure I've been on a bus or two where some guy did that.
I was definitely on a bus where I wanted to jack off to the woman that was sitting in front of me.
Oh no!
But I couldn't see her very well. I was just like looking over the. I was sitting where she was on her laptop, and sometimes she'd be looking at her Instagram, and like a bikini photo of hers would pop up. And she'd check likes, and she was alternating between looking at this and watching this Tyler Perry melodrama.
Oh, that's good. So
you know what kind of woman I was looking at? That was on the bus.
Woman.
Yeah.
You wanted to jerk off to a black woman looking at her own bikini pictures on laptop Instagram.
I was hoping I could see her name and then look at her photos on my phone, but I couldn't get a clear view. I should have just tapped her on her shoulder and say, "Excuse me, miss, what is your Instagram? I want to jack off to your photos."
Honestly, talking about a woman's like Instagram habits is about as intrusive as asking her age or weight.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't do it. It's
Yeah,
like you just never ask a bitch. It's like, so what are you doing on Instagram? It's like, apparently that's just, we can't let them take that. We can't let that be a ladies thing. No, it's like we have to be very intrusive about their Instagram habits. Like as men, we have to take control of their internet autonomy. I'm joking, by the way. You shouldn't do that to women. Let women completely
destroy themselves and hoard themselves out with their autonomy because woman's natural decision, natural inclination.
Well, if you put it that way.
Different societies evolve female modesty standards because without them, women are just going to slut it up all the time.
I guess in reality, women are the real sex crazed ones, not the guys.
Yeah, just in a different way with their billionaire werewolf rapist partners.
Well, the guys just want it for like 5 to 15 minutes.
I mostly just want to be loved. Men are the real romantics.
Yeah, not the sex crazed addicts that they're painted out to be, which is very funny, actually.
Yeah.
Women are the true horny ones, and they will do depraved things to get what they want. Because they don't just want sex; they want sex plus dignity. Remember what I said? Like
they want attention.
Yeah. Wait, attention?
Yeah, women love attention. When a woman gets a small amount of attention, it's like ejaculating for her.
It's basically money for them.
Who doesn't like attention, though?
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Who doesn't like attention? Everyone likes attention.
Women have an easier way for a certain age if it's the right look to get it up to a point. But
maybe women are just internally more honest with themselves about wanting attention.
I could see that.
Like a guy maybe would tell himself, "I'm just pretending to seek attention so I could get this girl." But really, deep down, they forget that you still want the attention of that girl, so you still want attention. Whereas women are deep down, it's like, yeah, I want mad guys in the room to think I'm fucking hot. So what? I'm honest about it. It means I'm fucking hot. Like, what's there to worry about? I mean, as a guy, it's like, I don't know.
I love attention. Mostly negative, but attention in general.
I'm not that into attention. I think I'm pretty low key for the most part. It's just like I think it's like what I do demands it seek out some attention. Like, what's the point of me making music ultimately if there's no one else to hear it? What's the point of me making a podcast? I mean, I could sit here and say, yeah, I just do it for me, which is mostly true. It's like 80% true, but 20% still feels good. Even if one person tells me and say, "Hey, I actually like that shit," I'm like, "Thank you." You know, it's like, I'm gonna be grateful for that. It feels good. But now it's really like all the attention I get has been on the road. I've had a lot of like probably some 19, 20
You really
year old
should
kid.
do a road trip in your car. It's a natural fit for it.
Is it? I mean, I could fit one person comfortably.
Yeah.
So here's how I would do a road trip.
Yeah.
I would want 2 cars, one rental, my car, and then we'd alternate with like we could switch.
What, you have a whole convoy going on the road?
Yeah.
Mm.
You mob up. You use street sharking, bro. even if you have like a nice car, you still want at least like one other homie in his cool car to like, be able to like cut up the lanes. But you help each other too. You could like one goes ahead to spot shit. Like the one with a less hot car can like go up ahead, stay on walkies.
Be interesting traveling cross country in a bus, huh?
No, I mean just in a couple
camper.
cars, just
A
2
couple
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one like van or SUV and one like nice car, and then you could just like do shit. You could take cool roller videos, like where you have like the car roll. Like you ever see that footage where you see the car just like rolling on the street? That's actually hard to do, like really hard to do. I mean, unless you have some balls, which is not that bad. Then if you just like get a van, drive in front of the other car, open the back lid, sit, have a guy hold on to your belt. I mean, like, I don't really think that's too crazy though, because like ever since I was a little kid, like when I was in the Boy Scouts, for example, we talked to all sorts of people. Like, like there'll be firefighters who responded to 9/11. There were cops. There were emergency responders to teach us about shit. There were like, our Boy Scout troop went to visit the precinct where they jail everyone here, like the local bookings. We did, we talked to a lot of people, and one of the coolest people that we talked to, I remember, in our Boy Scout troop was the reporter who was at 9/11 too. And he was like old school. Like he's been like a cameraman with his, reporters and stuff. And when they were doing like air shots, he would literally hang out like his body, like most of his body weight was hanging outside of the helicopter while his buddy was holding on to his belt. And that's just what they did in like the 80s and the 90s when they were getting some of those crazy shots.
Sounds like a very adventurous, fun time.
Well, what that taught me is like
the filming of Mad Max.
Yeah, like we just gotta remember, like filming, capturing something on film is just as much of an art that people sacrifice so much for, like as much as like a lot of other things, like driving itself. Which I've always appreciated that. Like the spirit of that never died. I mean, you'll have like now it's YouTubers doing all that crazy shit, like doing doing it on their own dime, on their oir own safety, not professionally. And a lot of people in the comments would like talk a lot of shit about it. But I mean, the way I see it, it's like they're just doing their job. Like back in the 80s and 90s, the so-called professionals were doing it with a lot less than this. At least these YouTubers are trying to take like some precautionary measures. Which I appreciate about like modern YouTubers, when they get into shit like cars or planes or like homebrew aircrafts or some shit. Like if they don't, because they know if they don't cover all the safety bases, they will get fucking flamed in the comments by some like real deal old school guy. He's like, "You're not supposed to do this. That's gonna ruin the stability and the integrity of the whole structure, and it's all gonna cave in." Like, so. I don't know. I mean, I think like a lot of people shit on internet culture, but that's I hold that end of internet culture dear to my heart. Like the specialist niche interests, where it's like, I want to get into pigeon catching. I want to get into professional yo-yoing. I want to get into fucking...
Well, that seems like an area of YouTube where it's still serving its original intended function, right?
And it's beautiful. It's still doing a great job. Like, I want to learn how to be an expert at solving a Rubik's Cube really fast. Oh, YouTube has like a fucking 15-minute video on it.
And so much of YouTube, you have this very long documentary series, long streams.
I like those
Culture
too.
War Slump.
Oh well, I don't like
AI generated images.
I don't like the
listicles.
culture. I don't like the culture war slop. That shit is bad. What really actually is bad is like the spirituality AI generated fucking.
Oh god, that sounds atrocious.
It is really bad. It's like it is kind of.
Imagine like a huge portion of the population is just dependent on an AI.
Yeah, they don't go to church. They just go on YouTube and play these like AI generated like what they will do is like they will have someone like Alan Watts and his voice like and his voice mimicked to speak these AI generated spiritual things, or they'll have like I don't know, Joe Morgan Freeman. It's like, but you must remember, you are the center of your own universe. Everything revolves around you ultimately. You know, it's like I think that's going to replace church actually.
AI generated religion.
Crazy thought, right?
I've heard similar things. It seems very fitting of an algorithmically decided upon chants prayers.
I mean, the way
already like Tibetans have those prayer wheels where there's different prayers on it and you spin the different sections.
Well, the way I see
and it constructs a new repetitive prayer.
You look at these fucking like tarot readers making their readings from just cards drawn, you know, and at random essentially. What's the difference? Except for that the AI could definitely be manipulated or in some weird crazy ways, whereas the tarot deck is just the tarot deck.
But the AI can learn from you as a person and train on your data and become much better.
Yes, but the tarot deck is still just a basic ass tarot, which is why I still prefer the tarot reading format, you know? Compared to like asking like Gemini, it's like, all right, do my tarot reading, or what do you think my future's going to be in the next 3 days? Like, or it's like AI, make me feel like I belong in this universe. Okay. Well, sometimes living in this universe can make us feel like we don't belong and that there's really no inherent purpose or meaning to our life.
AI, say all of this while speaking like Jar Jar Binks.
Well, Massa, summertime, we do not feel like we belong in the universe. Sometimes we feel like we don't belong. Yeah. Misa think this makes me feel sad. But then I remember little Annie, and he said something to Misa once. Anyway, so it would sound something like that.
Yeah, damn.
I do a surprisingly decent Gungan. If I watch,
you do a very good Gungan, actually. This is something you should have been doing more on the podcast a long time ago.
No, I can't do a fucking Gungan accent like all the time. Might as well kill myself.
You should just choose a different.
He's going to be punished.
It really was wonder. I don't know. I don't care for the prequel trilogies, but George Lucas fitting in all of these like 5 different racial stereotypes combined into one individual really was delightful.
The sad part is I must have watched like The Phantom Menace more than the other 2. Like out of the whole prequel trilogy.
What, you had it on video as a kid?
VHS, yeah. I watched that VHS tape so much that
you can do the accent.
Well, it got like worn out. Like, you know, when a VHS tape gets so used that it just like you see cracks in it. It's like on the screen. It's just so funny. But yeah, I watched that shit so much, that much. And then I got the real trilogy because when I got my first DVD player for one Christmas, I got the Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 trilogy. I was super stoked on it. Man, I had such a charmed childhood when it came to media consumption.
I did too. Despite growing up poor, I really did. It was just so readily available.
I mean, maybe like the ancients would say that's so sad. It's like really like your highlights of your childhood was just a bunch of like junk and like pretend projections on a screen. But yeah.
Oh, it's very common for Gen X, Millennials, Zoomers.
But man,
Boomers to a certain extent.
But man, was that shit good. Yeah, boomers love their movies. They love their films. Mm-hmm. Actually, I should say Gen X really love their films.
Well, they had home video.
I think Gen X loves movies more than the parents did.
Yeah, I know. They had home video, I suppose, is a big factor.
And then the boomers' parents loved movies more than the boomers did.
They went to the movies all the time, so yeah.
Because that shit was popping.
It was just something you routinely did every week.
Yeah, I mean, between like, you know, battles like fought in Europe and shit, you get some propaganda, you get
newsreels, cartoons,
Yeah.
2 different movies, yeah.
you get to make out with a bitch when it's like during the daytime hours, all the adults are at work.
It used to be you would go in and out of the theater and they were just playing the daily programming on loop.
And of course, like the towns were eerily empty because all the boys were off fighting the fucking war. Which must have been like, imagine being like 14, 15, 16, like growing up in the midst of the war. And you're probably like in this awkward...
Yeah, Air Silent Generation, like the Beatles.
Yeah, you're like, well...
Silent Generation.
My older brother's gone. My best friend's older brother's gone. My best friend's dad is gone. My best friend's dad and his older brothers are gone. You know,
Yeah, I know, true.
It must have been interesting as fuck.
And you're rationing too. You're under fear of invasion or death.
You're getting into some trouble, maybe, because like, you know, there's a lot of poverty. Actually, that was the opposite of poverty, wasn't it?
No, it was an impoverished time. They had during World War II. They had rationing. Everywhere in the world had rationing.
Oh yeah, it was pretty bad, actually. But then again, it must have been weird. No matter what, it was probably fucking weird.
Yeah, definitely.
I bet they were getting drunk as fuck.
Rationing of that too, but yeah, it's still happening.
Do you think there was a lot of? There probably wasn't that much gang violence because of all the rampant.
Yeah, everyone was out, and everything was in the society was devoted to the war effort.
Yep. Do you ever get jealous of them?
Yeah, when I was younger. Yeah, not anymore.
You definitely would have been married by now if you were.
That's true. Yes.
You would have had a beautiful family. And then you would have died in the war. Like you would have gotten some job as like doing some brainy job, like I don't know, intelligence gathering. Or
I would have gotten a non-combat job, served out the war, came home, and been a military hero, war hero.
You would have gotten a non-combat job. Mm-hmm. You would have been on your way to headquarters to start your clerical duties, but then some fucking butter bar lieutenant comes, stops the truck, and says, "You're getting reassigned. Welcome to your new unit." And it's some unit that's definitely going to die. Like they all know they're going to. This is basically the plot to that Brad Pitt World War II movie.
Yeah. Fury?
Yeah. I actually love that movie because it had Shia LaBeouf. It had that retarded Italian or Irish guy, whatever his name is. I love him too. He was the Punisher.
Oh, John Bernthal?
Yeah, I love him.
Italian, yeah.
I love him. He's such a dummy. Like he's so cool. He's like
it's wild how because of movies we think of World War II veterans as being older than they actually were. A lot of them were very young, like in their early 20s or teens.
You're right.
Mainly they looked older, but still, that's a...
And then you actually go to Europe, and then you look around, and you see some of these like dead French soldiers and German soldiers look surprisingly young, like 13, 12, 14, you know?
Yeah.
Suspiciously like children.
Japan for sure, where they had like 14-year-old kamikaze pilots.
Yeah. So that guy, John Bernthal, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
You know what he reminds me of? Like the friend in the group, like, yo, Richie, you probably know what this is. You ever see like these YouTube cartoons that are like this? They feature like the Wojak, a group of Wojak millennial guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and there's the main chud guy, like he's like this balding whatever and short, and then there's the other like fruity looking like gay one, and then there's the big weird looking but muscular and tall Chad one, but he's still like a nerd like the rest of the millennial dudes.
The muscular Chud Jack.
Mm-hmm. And you gotta have all those friends. You gotta have first the pedantic asshole as the leader. Then you gotta have like the pretty but absolutely gay one,
so it fits into humorism.
You're right. Then you gotta have the tall but cool and confident one. All he tries to do is get the leader who's like pedantic out of his rut, but then he's like so pedantic and like so like, why are we even at this party? Like this is so stupid. Look at all these people. Like, and he's like absolutely right in his criticism, but is he still like not an asshole? Like not an asshole, you know? But we love all of those. Like in any kind of show or movie, if there's like a group of dudes like that, we love that pedantic asshole. We love like the Chad but slightly dumb dude. We like the spacey, spaced out, fruity but pretty guy. But these dynamics shift in subtle ways. We need a fourth.
We do need a fourth, so
I
that
wonder
we
who-
have one of each humorism.
It cannot be a girl though,
It has to be a guy, of course. You have to have four.
because the girl fucks up like
Everything,
group,
yeah.
every group dynamic every time.
So of the four humors, Chris, you're sanguine.
What does that mean?
High energy, red, associated with blood. The more fiery character.
Oh, cool.
Rich is melancholia or melancholic. I'm colic, I think, or phlegmatic. No. Rich is phlegmatic, and I'm melancholic.
What's the phlegmatic one?
Phlegmatic is like level-headed, quiet, stern.
Yeah, taciturn.
Yeah, taciturn. Calmness, emotional stability, and tendency to be unreactive is slow to response. The four other traditional temperaments: sanguine, melancholic, choleric.
Nice.
Actually, you might be choleric. Yeah, sanguine is optimism, sociability, enthusiasm, talkative, full of life, fiery. Oh, maybe choleric. Choleric people are energetic, ambitious, strong-willed.
Yeah, I think the other one would be more like
No, choleric is red. Sorry, fiery, quick in action, natural leader, quick.
Obviously, this is worth investigating.
Yeah, definitely melancholic.
Melancholia.
You know, definitely choleric.
Yeah.
This is astrology for boys.
It is. It's humorism, yeah. So in that case, we would...
We would what?
I'm just trying to sign melancholic for sure for me. Rich being phlegmatic. And you, I think, being sanguine. So we need someone who's choleric. Yeah, someone who's like quick to action or energetic. That might be you, though.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So we need someone who's a lot more. I'm not a pissed off guy. That's the thing.
Yeah, you're right. We need that problem.
I'm pretty.
Pissed
I'm
off
too
guy.
level headed to be sanguine.
Yeah.
We need someone who's a lot more aggressive than me, which is
No, to be choleric. Sanguine fits you, I think.
no. I'm not. I'm not that pissed off though.
No, they're not pissed off. They're
Oh.
chill. They're talkative. They're sociable. They're upbeat.
It's
They're...
the other guys that are pissed off. The choleric.
Choleric is pissed off.
Where are we gonna find someone who's sufficient? We need a social justice warrior that thinks we're not like terrible.
No, we just need like a push. We need like a Jew. That's my stance. Is that we need a Jew on the cast.
Oh shit! I actually know the perfect Jew. Actually,
Has to be a guy, but yeah.
yeah, and I know why he's so pissed off. I mean, he may not know it, and he would definitely emphatically disagree with me if he was here, and he'd definitely argue about it on the spot. He's like the type of guy that would argue in a way where it's like you try to like defend your position, he would just speak like louder and then over you so that you can't even finish. But he's like, I don't know, he's not that much of a dummy. But like the thing is, he's half Italian and half Jewish, and he's Jewish on his dad's side, so he's not.
Classic. Well, that's fine. That works for an American mix.
So he's not really, Jewish, but he is. So
But
it's
he is. He's half Jewish anyway.
It's a tough spot.
And he's a New Yorker, you said.
And yeah, and I'll be pissed off too if that was me. Like if my dad was Jewish and my mom was, I'll be like, what the fuck, yo?
Yeah. Especially if you have male pattern balding.
No, he doesn't have male pattern.
Nice.
He's just shorter.
Mm.
He said that to me. He was like, you're taller, so you're probably going to die sooner. I was like, yeah, probably, maybe. True.
I don't know. If he's that pissed off, probably not. His heart will probably give out.
He did tell me, because like one thing that annoyed me was when he went on this huge tirade about living in New York City. He was like, it's awful there. You guys are fucking stupid for even living there or
Is he
entertaining.
he's a native born New Yorker?
I think so.
With that accent, I would assume so.
Maybe not. Maybe I don't know. He spent
Jersey?
most of his life here,
Mm.
and then he moved recently to like Long Island or some shit. But he's like, I don't know. He complained. He just talked a bunch of shit. He was like, last time I was in New York City, I kicked a taxi cab door. I kicked a dent in a taxi cab door. That's not healthy. And I was like, this all sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, it does.
Like I was like, it sounds like you're the one that can't handle it. Despite New York's whatever. Like it's not all bad.
I find New York wonderful, highly enjoyable, highly stimulating. As someone who gets distracted or bored easily, New York is great for me.
He's definitely choleric.
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect fit then.
The choleric guy.
Yeah.
He's
Then
like,
you have all the temperaments balancing out.
yeah, but
That's what you have to do. Have the fourth mic.
the choleric guy is very hard to deal with, though. I'm not talking about him specifically. I'm just talking about in general, like that archetype.
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with. Or maybe it's just hard for me to deal with, and it's easier for the other
I
archetypes.
think
to
if
deal
everyone's there, you balance each other out.
with. Yeah, probably. That's true. It's a good point. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of this chemistry. I call it chemistry. This kind of chemistry function with different streams when I'm streaming a lot.
Mm.
Streaming is more interesting because I usually stream with people who run like channels that are a lot bigger than
You?
the small old Terrorisk.
Thank you.
And it's interesting seeing people's reactions to you, like a much broader audience than your
And see how they react to you as a guest, you as a personality.
yeah, and especially as
playing
a
off
weekly
them.
personality, because then they remember you, and then they're like, so when you see things like oh blah blah blah, but one of the comments recently interested me. They were like, I feel like Chris is one answer away from truly enlightened states of being. I was like, whoa,
That's very flattering to you.
it's very intense, And there's other comments. I've had some negative ones before, but I think at first I had a lot of negative ones, and I just thought they were really good, really funny. I was like, I got a kick out of reading them, because the thing about streaming too, it's different for some of the different parties. So some of them stream while they're on their phone, some of them stream while they're driving. I streamed in my setup, so I could read all the comments on the channel as I was streaming, so I could see everything. So it kind of gives you a different perspective. You could react differently and act differently according to different reactions. It's just different. And I remember when I first started streaming with Andreas, people would say more negative things. People used to say a lot more negative things, but over time they've really warmed up. I was like, shit. I mean, it's actually, it was almost a bummer because it was really funny at first. They would say some
This is great footage. This is great theater. Seeing Richie in the background and scratching Mochi.
yeah. They called me
Petting him.
one dude called me a hip hop Asian.
That's a good description.
I don't even listen to hip hop.
Yeah, surprising. Hip hoppy.
First of all, you could tell I don't listen to hip hop because
A hip hopper.
but I'm not even a hopper.
I know, no, but man, I know you're not hopper. Yeah, if there's a hopper guy who really loves rap,
Hip-hop, yeah.
hip hop, the hip hopper sounds great.
Okay, so if you're like a fuckboy Asian guy,
Yeah.
Asian American guy, you're either gonna get into two things, and there is a cooler one of the two. I hope you guys all know what it is without me saying, but you either get into A, hip hop and rap music and hustle culture, or B, cars, drift cars, and Japanese pop / rave music.
Yeah, perhaps both.
Nah, man.
Both really fits. If you're a weeb, Asian rapper.
Yeah, but they like the fucking C-class Mercedes and shit.
Yeah,
they like
that's
the
true.
fucking Yakuza gangs. Actually, I learned today that there's this yo, can you look up a Yakuza VIP body kit?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, so there's a Yakuza style of body kit
Yeah.
that makes cars like Lexus, because the Lexus is a very interesting car. They packed out with luxury features, but it's made by Toyota, which is very weird, and for the time anyway. And since the Yakuza henchmen couldn't afford BMWs and Mercedes,
Yeah.
they had to get body kits to make their Lexus mocked up to look like super duper luxury cars.
That's cool.
And these cars are so fucking pimp. And it was also around the time when like it was a specific era in street racing. I think it was called like Bozo era.
Yeah, Bozozuku
Era. Yeah. F started crack so hard. So they had to come up with ways to pimp out fly ass cars without like while still flying under the radar. So the VIP style was a body kit. Isn't this shit sick?
Bring up on camera.
Yeah.
Look at the one at the far top right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all fucking crazy. And I really like this concept a lot because it's like just a European style sedan, which means it's 4 doors. So it should fit like, 4 passengers at least extremely comfortably. And it's got like, probably all the fixings, all the bells and whistles, like heated seats, seat warmers, like, well, yeah, but same thing. I'm saying like automated heated seats, like fully decked out media system, leather interior. Because if you're gonna get a luxury vehicle, it has to be leather. Otherwise, what the fuck is the point? Look at this shit. Like, and it's like it's low. Like if you look at the wheels, like how the suspension is just so lowered.
Yeah.
And the wheels are so fucking fat. And
Go
like
up to the
stands
top
out.
right. Hit that one. Oh.
Oh, these are nice. Oh, that's nice. That's so
Oh,
cool.
damn. Yeah, look at that interior.
That's so fucking cool. Imagine
Oh, that
picture-
cream and that red. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
it's a Soviet car. Yeah. Yeah, this shit. Oh, so sick. And they're fast too. Like because the Lexus LS series came with some pretty fucking fast tight motors. And this is all because like I said, the lower ranked Yakuza guys could not afford the actual foreign German cars, so they had to like build these shits.
Things tricked out.
I mean, they're pretty sick. I would drive one.
Yeah, right. Of course. I mean, this is like ultimate working man's pimped vehicle. Like these types of cars. Like this is like you don't have the money for like a Maybach or a fucking Bentley or some shit like that, but you can buy a Lexus and you can make that shit even better. All right,
Put the chrome on the Benz.
yeah, in that Google search, type in space and like interior, and you can make that shit like all pimped out. Oof. Like that's some executive shit, brother. Like, you got the whole like you got the tray, the front facing tray. You got the full center console, which is basically like a mini desk in the middle. That's crazy shit. Yeah, see, this is what I mean when I said I was quote unquote learning about cars. Just like
Looking up interiors like those.
well, it's not just the interior. I'm just saying like the broader like cultural. It's because a lot of it is very like contextual to the era they were born.
The era and to Japan.
Yeah, like the different styles and shit. I mean, even and it's also like not. This is just Japan, but like if you also like look at like what America had going on, or if you look at like what Europe had going on, their needs. It's like it's all there's like a rich history, and I see why automobiles are what they are. Like I see why. Like I used to be ignorant enough to say, oh, why don't we just make all cars powered by hydrogen? Why don't we make all cars just powered by fucking water or whatever? Yeah, we could do away with fossil fuels, but the problem is like decades and decades and decades were put into refinement of the 4-stroke combustion engine. And I'm saying like, yeah, you could definitely think of 1,000,001 better solutions than burning fossil fuels, but it's going to take a long time that we cannot afford to be able to completely match the refinement of combustion. I'm not saying it can't be done. It probably will be done eventually. But the reason why it's not happening overnight is because we got it as good as it gets. Like these 4-stroke combustion engines literally got so good that we
They're
sucked.
just so efficient power wise.
We sucked too much oil from the ground just because. Apparently, no, not sucked too much. We burned too much oil for this fucking planet to handle because these engines were so good and they worked so well. I mean, what you think the planet burned because the fucking just because the design was that bad? Hell no, it was the opposite. The design was so good that the planet literally could not sustain how much human beings were using the 4-stroke combustion engine. Whether it's diesel, whether it's straight up like petrol, like regular refined gasoline. I mean, shit, And I love the design. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Perfect. 4 phases. Very naughty. Right, Richie?
No.
Yeah.
Forget the silence for lack of addition to say. I'm just admiring the technology itself.
Oh, Richie, look up RWB Porsche. So there's this guy. I mean, there's probably no car guys that watch this anyway, so I won't be embarrassing myself. But there's this guy in Japan.
What if you're only watched by car guys?
No. So there's this guy in Japan. I don't know his name, but
This is this dude.
yeah, he's well known because he once bought a clapped out Porsche, and he started racing with it. And this was years ago. And since it was already junked out and fucked up, he was like, well, since I'm fixing it, might as well customize it, make it my own thing. So he created his own crazy wide body kit, which also allowed him to run these ridiculously wide tires. And as you can see, how flared out those fenders are, where the wheels just stay, where they just stick out. Yeah, that's because the wider body kit will accommodate that. Now, eventually that shit caught on, and different people in Japan, for some reason, this era had very accessible secondhand fucked up Porsches. So you had a lot of guys buying Porsches and going up to him is yo, do my Porsche. And he would do it for them. And he would make it in a way where it's okay, you could take this clapped out Porsche and now it's good enough to be able to take it to the track. You got wide ass tires to be able to do crazy banks and have fun. And eventually rich people bought fresh Porsches, brand new Porsches, called him and said, yo, I want you to fly here. I'll pay for your room and board and all that shit. You just work on my fucking body kit, install it. And this is where the controversy happens. This is where a lot of hardcore Porsche enthusiasts, not just enthusiasts, but collectors, preservationists, cultural preservationists even, they hate him because they're you're ruining the car. You're basically cutting up a perfectly good, brand new, GT350 or whatever and fucking desecrating it. But he calls his style this style body kit the RWB, named after his favorite brand of beer.
There's something very charming, cute about the design of it.
Right?
Yeah. That's very fun, very funky. I like that a lot, actually. It's very distinctive. What is it called?
RWB Porsche.
The loud colors are very pleasant, too.
Yeah. And I think the whole idea was it was a lot of people were oh sorry, I said GT350. I meant the 911 GT3.
I'll never forget that name. The
What?
911 GT.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the whole reason why it took off was because it's the wide body kit thing. A lot of that is very Japanesey. It's very
it is.
Chinesey, Japanesey.
That Honda Supra with the body kit.
Yeah, but so it's this perfect. It's a really cool blend of the German / Japanese influence, and I think that's one of the reasons why people really like it. But yeah, I think it's really cool, and it was also supposed to be kind of a middle finger to upper society because Porsches are usually associated with high society, rich people shit. And he was not by no means rich, so he would just he was just some stupid kid that saw a clapped out Porsche for sale for cheap. He bought it.
Imagine fucking that Porsche.
Sam Hyde. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure Sam Hyde loves this shit. I'm sure Sam Hyde.
Yeah, he does. What a fascinating figure.
Sam
It's played
Hyde.
out, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah. RWB body kit style. Good shit. This is cool. You know, like the more I learned about cars, the more I could like telephone it over to you guys. You know.
Yeah, that's true. You can just keep rumbling, and I'll just look at my phone or doze off for a second.
You gotta
you'll be able to fill a lot of time with it. I need to have more things. What? Go on.
I really wish you'd get a car, man. That'd be cool. We could be car guys together. You should get a truck, like a pickup truck or an SUV.
What if it was?
I get smoked by SUVs all the time, or like big ass trucks. Like some of those trucks have fucking Hemis in them, and they just rip my face off. It's scary too, because some of them have like 12 lights in the like facing the front end, and then you just see that like getting lit up in your rear end, and you're like, "What? What's going on?" And then you just hear, and you're like, "Oh my god!" I mean, you wouldn't notice this if you were the passenger of like a Honda Civic or an Accord or like a economy model Mercedes or something. You know, they would just like whatever. They don't see you as anything more than just a civilian. But when you drive like any noteworthy car, like they'll bully you. They'll be like, "Oh, you think you're so cool with your fucking thing, with your Porsche or your Mustang or whatever," and then they'll just like go up to you and be like, and then rip you. Those trucks are no joke. The only thing is, like, they're dangerous. You know, if you drive that fast in that thing and you do body rolls, like, you're tipping. What's your favorite car? I mean, even if you're not into cars, like, you have to have a favorite car.
Mercedes-Benz 660.
660. Let's see it. Yo, look up.
Mercedes-Benz 660. I think that's it. Maybe it's like the.
Ooh.
Wait, no. Mercedes-Benz 360. Maybe. On.
What, a G-Wagon?
Nope.
I was gonna
look
say,
up Stutz Bearcat for a second, and
What's
then I'll
it?
look up the car I'm looking for.
Stutz Bearcat?
Yeah. A Mercedes-Benz 770 is what I meant to say.
All right, let me see the 770. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's my favorite car.
All right, now look up.
See, click on some photos of that, Rich.
No, I see it. I see the photo. That's crazy. Yo, look up for sale.
See if you have any with the swastika on it. It's Hitler's car, by the way.
How much does it go for? How much would someone be selling that for? Look it up on regular.
It's okay.
Look it up on regular
Crying.
Google. Regular Google instead of images. For sale. No, don't put the swastika. I just mean for sale.
770 for sale, yeah.
Hitler.
Adolf Hitler is selling it actually from Buenos Aires, straight from. He's got the title in hand. Just bring cash only. 21 grand. That's not bad.
Ooh, wow.
See, that's what I'm
It's
telling
close
you.
enough.
Yeah. See, this is the sickness. Now that the internet is in play, like people like look this shit. It probably doesn't even fucking run, but
Yeah.
you know, like, and it's in Long Island City. What?
Runs and drives well.
21 grand, Carmen. Come on, bro.
You have to have a special license, right, for vintage automobiles?
Probably not. And it's probably even cheaper. You probably don't even have to like get that shit inspected. It's just going to be like some different type of title.
Ooh, that looks beautiful.
$295,000. See, this is what I do. Like, think of like ridiculous, wacky cars. Like, how much would someone be selling such a vehicle for? And then I look it up, and it's like, what? Movie replica cars are fun too.
How fast do these things go? Was it like 55 miles per hour?
Oh, they're slow as shit. Yeah.
So you can only drive them in the city.
Yeah, but you'll pick up so many bitches in that thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you come out like with the mustache, dressed in the right gear. You know, you come out supreme.
I just go up.
Like,
I go up to Harlem with the swastika flags hanging from it.
No, you got to have vintage Jordans. You got to have Supreme hoodies, and then you got to have swastika Balenciaga bandana hanging out, and Yeezys on. Well, you already got the Jordans,
Yeah.
but the Yeezys on top of the Jordans.
You're in blackface too.
What about you, Rich? What's your dream car?
I don't think I have one, man.
Well, it's time to start dreaming, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What's your fantasy car? What do you like from media?
Oh, probably like a muscle car then.
Yeah. You gonna join the Mopar crew with me, bro?
Yeah.
What's your favorite muscle? What's your favorite movie muscle car?
Oh, fuck! It's such a hard question. Oh, what was that one? The Friends of Eddie Coyle. That car was great.
Yeah, it is.
What is it called?
Friends of Eddie Coyle. If you could find the car.
It's this. Imagine The Sopranos, but without any jokes, because it was a major influence of The Sopranos.
That's pretty tight.
It's a very depressing '70s crime film, but
With a cool car.
I highly recommend it, Chris. I think you would really.
Yeah, 71 Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is it called?
It's a 71 Roadrunner.
A 71 World Builder?
Roadrunner.
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 World Builder would be a sick name.
That would be. Yeah, I think it's fucking gorgeous.
Holy shit, that is sick. That is like real. That is real Mopar shit. And the funny part is Plymouth was supposed to be like the budget cars of I think Chrysler, and they were just releasing cool shit like
Yeah,
that.
it's gorgeous. I would love one.
I mean, the thing about these cars is like they were basically like stripped down muscle cars. Like they didn't have the fancy like ashtray maybe back in that day. Like they didn't have like luxury things, but they still ripped it. You know, and you could still like handle so much power off of those cast iron blocks. That is pretty cool. That's a cool
yeah, they're
fucking car, man.
gorgeous.
Imagine like having that in 2025. You would put in like a Bluetooth stereo set, subwoofer in the back.
That would be nice.
Like a Stingray. I like those.
What is that, Corvette?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be tight. Corvettes are
You have some Joe Biden taste in cars.
Thank you.
Speaking of which, Joe Biden,
Rest in
great
peace.
taste in cars. He has.
Yo, look up
Oh.
for sale. You have good taste, man.
So Joe Biden, Joe Biden has terminal cancer, prostate cancer metastasizing into bone cancer.
Jesus, poor guy.
So
It's probably over, man.
They detected it, I'm
He's
sure.
done. No, when it got into his bones or whatever.
Yeah, that's how you know it's serious.
How much is it? What's the price?
It's there's
That's not bad.
Yeah,
Wait, well, how many miles though? Actually, I guess that doesn't even matter at this point, really. If it's like a show car, it's a show car. If it's a driver, it's a driver.
How much is it?
37,000, 400, 400.
I mean, it's a lot.
Say that again slowly.
But how many miles does it have?
Let's see. Not that bad.
What is it?
Doesn't say.
Odometer.
Oh no, here we go.
23,000? What does it say?
22,305.
So that's
345.
That's a show car.
Yeah.
If it only has 23,000 miles, that means it's never been used as a daily
Say the
driver.
price again, just slowly. I keep missing it, Rich. I'm sorry.
It's like 37 grand.
Yeah, 37 grand.
Okay.
That
I'm
means-
just saying this to work on your broadcaster voice.
Oh, okay. That's
That'd be great if Rich got like a broadcaster voice, like a mid-Atlantic voice.
driving.
That one's gorgeous, man.
That's sick. These are actually really affordable.
Yeah.
This is really fucking crazy how affordable these are. And the fact is, like, these things are so fast, they're actually dangerous.
God, it's beautiful.
Like, if you did like an LS swap, like if that motor was even no good, like you could easily swap in like a modern Chevy LS engine and you could really do some fucking damage.
What's Ash's car from Evil Dead? The Oldsmobile?
Sometimes I wish I was a Corvette guy instead of a Mustang guy, but then I realized, nah, I'm definitely a Mustang guy.
Ash's shitty car.
Oh, that's
The actual car they owned.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I didn't know that.
look up Crown Victoria Grand Marquis. This is a real pimp mobile. And my car actually has the engine from this car, just like a more modern version. Look up, type in space body kit. Yeah, that shit's pretty sick. Imagine rolling around in that thing. That's mean. That's like a brutal looking. That's like cop car shit.
That is pretty hard.
Like that used to be police cars and taxis. Like some fat leather seats in the back. You basically could just buy like an old taxi from like the 90s or early 2000s and just
trick it out.
yeah.
Or people have old cop cars.
What's my friend had? He had a Crown Vic.
So those heavy doors, those are great. I love guys who have old cop cars.
And the ones with the V8, get out of here, bro. That shit'll rip. And it's got plenty of space. 4 doors. This is the American version of what we were looking at before with the Lexus. It's like this is if you want like a luxury sedan on a working man's shit, you get a Crown Victoria and you fucking pimp it out. You trick this shit out.
Nice. Shit rules.
Yep. Right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yo, imagine stepping up into that, how gangster you must feel. Oh, man.
It's fucking rules, bro.
Yeah. And of course, you need like a banging sound system. You know what he did? He cut away the fenders. He had to like cut like a huge strip away from the fenders so that he could fit those.
It's fucking rules is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crown Victoria, bro. It's the ultimate black man's car, yeah. like honestly, like a black American man's car. Oh man, that's good.
Love the color.
Rich, what color would yours be in?
I like this red, honestly. It's dark red's very nice.
I would get my shit in shiny black, just blacked out with like black rims. Make it look scary.
It's nice. It's teal aquamarine.
Yeah.
Yo, do you guys know what model the pedo vans are?
No, a model.
What do we call? Look it up. Google it. What model are the pedo vans? It's like, where can I get one for my garage? What did you spell?
Band.
What kind of van is this?
Chevy Express Free.
All right, look up that, and type in like custom body kit or whatever, in Google. Imagine kidnapping people in that thing. No, that looks like
magic. It's a word that conjures up so many different images, doesn't it? From pulling rabbits out of hats.
Oh, it's because I'm connected to Bluetooth. That's why. Yo, that thing is tight.
That's sick.
I forgot. I forgot these things existed. I remember when I was like a kid, some parents drove these.
Those
things.
are Mexican.
These are crazy, dude. I remember. Yo, I want one. I want one of these. Look at this thing, Carmen.
Think about my dad's old van. Yeah.
Think about it. We strip out the back seats. We put in a couch, a carpet, put in like bolt-in furniture.
Well, we don't even have to molest children then. We can just try picking up skanks that are of age.
No, dude, not even all right, forget the children. I'm just saying, like this, like if you had one of these even with the windows, like you could put privacy curtains, tints. You could do all sorts of shit. Yo, you could put like lights underneath. Oh man, this would be tight. Yo, sell drugs out of that thing. Oh man, I want one. I'm not gonna front.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Oh, yeah, that's fun, dude.
That's fucking dope. With the wheels. And these are called the Chevy Express?
Yeah.
Fuck. We gotta get one, Rich, for Terrorisk. Great band. The company right there. All right, think of another movie car.
movie car.
Yeah, you heard me right. A movie car.
What's your body kit for a Prius?
I'm sure people did custom work on a Prius before. Wow, that looks like a computer mouse.
Yeah, it's,
I mean, seriously, that literally looks like a fucking computer mouse. It looks
What-
cool though.
one of those small cars are really nerdy. I always see them. They're like 2 people tops. You know which one I'm talking about? They're like they're very suburban car, very small.
Ford Focus,
So it's really really small. Like you can fit 2 people tops.
the smart car.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking? Are you
Yeah.
talking about a specific car or?
yeah. I can't remember the name of it. Like a smart car called.
Oh, you're trying to see a tricked out smart car.
Yeah. One of these. Yeah. The body kit.
Yeah. Yo, that's so sick.
Just edit the image.
Oh man. Oh shit, we got to get one of these.
What are we looking at?
Tricked out smart cars. Do you remember smart cars? They're like, I don't even know anyone who has one.
I see like 2 wherever I go.
Yeah, I see them occasionally outside.
Yo, this is
laughing out
honestly
the yard.
fucking sick. Like I could see a whole car scene doing this, like behind this.
You just look like Hot Wheels for 4-year-olds.
That's what I'm just saying. Yo, imagine if everyone in Staten Island drove these, like tricked out smart cars at these. Yo, what is that a fucking? Oh my god, they're like.
it looks like a toy for a 4-year-old.
Yeah,
That's
wait.
too
You
large
see the
for them
pic-
to
you see the-
swallow.
You see the row below that in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a Corvette. That's like a C5 or whatever. One above that.
Yeah.
That one. That's so. These are real car bodies, just like squished in to look how much. This is so.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
just a crude Photoshop.
Is there anything on YouTube?
Look up smart car custom body kit. My YouTube is already fucking degenerate bullshit.
Custom body.
Yo,
These aren't real nice.
bro. Yo, yeah. Look at the reels. No, the
Most
middle.
of you guys have seen my crazy builds. If not,
Son,
No, the yellow one. Is that a smart car?
I don't think so.
What?
No, I think it's like a regular
Oh,
car.
okay, forget that then. I want to see these tricked out little fucking Hot Wheel bullshits. Yo, that's
most of you guys have
sick.
seen my crazy builds. If not, check out my older videos. But this right here, my
What?
smart car, is probably one of the craziest builds.
Dude,
it makes
ima-
210 wheel horsepower running on race gas, spraying methanol, and it's also wide-bodied with custom 17 by 12 wheels.
What?
Most of you guys have seen
That's
my crazy
so
builds. If not,
fucking
check out my
crazy.
older videos.
Yo, Rich,
But
good
this
call.
right
That's
here,
really
my
creative.
smart
Yeah.
car.
Thank you. Oh my god. That rules. God is more. Oh my god.
Oh god, it has the Call of Duty skin on.
Oh, that's tight. I mean, it's atrocious. But it's
Yeah,
tight.
it is.
Like, it's disgusting. It's fucking cool. Like that's some New York Dominican shit.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking.
That's some New York Puerto Rican shit.
What if we all had disguises as Dominicans? Like we went out one day to like a Puerto Rican day or Dominican
Yo,
day
look up
parade.
diesel powered smart car. That'll be fun if someone did that. I'm sure some fucking hick did it. This is all the Midwesterners do this shit. Like they make like boat engine powered cars. Like
There's nothing else to do there.
exactly, they do all. Oh shit! Of course someone did it. Oh, this gets me excited, bro. Like,
Yes, it actually is the original engine. This car has a 0.8 liter, 3-cylinder Mercedes turbo diesel.
that's fucking insane. It must be super fun to drive, honestly. Yeah, do they have on the dyno? Ooh. That's Gucci. I like that.
You should get a smart car.
This is basically a diesel-powered fucking smart car. That's good. I like that shit. Yo, look up Group B Rally if you want to see some real retarded shit.
Owners Mercedes-Benz AG and Zhangjiang Geeling Holding Group.
Groupie Rally said?
Yeah, Group B Rally highlights. Group B. Sorry, Group.
Oh, sorry.
Groupie. Groupie Rally.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, look up the highlights to Groupie Rally. Best of Group B.
At TD Bank, we know it's only human to dream,
That's...
and we're here for you with tools that.
Yo, Carmen, look at this shit. This stuff was. Oh. Can you lower the volume a little bit? No, on the YouTube. Yeah, this shit was banned because it was so dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. Like, the people are just standing around, like, hyper-powered cars. Super, like, overpowered, over-torqued. They're about to get plowed through.
Yeah.
Actually, look up Group B Rally crashes. Oh, this ought to be fun. Oh, yeah, that's death. That's instant death. You see that? Just burst into a... Look up... Is there crash calculations?
Let's see.
It has to be Group B Rally. No, that's not Group B.
Oh, sorry.
10... Wait, what is it? 10 minutes of what? Yeah, let's try that. Press the right arrow key. A little more. Alright, wait.
Spectacular accident did little more than completely rearrange the RS200's bodywork, leaving the spectators to collect a few souvenirs.
Scavengers. Yeah. This shit definitely killed quite a few people. I mean, the idea is already ludicrous. It's like tight, narrow mountain roads in these super compact German sports cars that are like all-wheel drive at some point. And then around like non-barricaded crowds.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh.
Like, that shit's insane. And this is why people go. They're like, yo, I want to see some crazy crashes. Damn. Those Europeans got down with cars. Like, really down. Il y a des normes et des marges à respecter selon les trajectoires et les zones de freinage. But it's good to know, Carmen, that your dream car is literally Hitler's car.
Yeah, it was very...
Yo, Rich, could you look up Hitler's personal car automobile? Oh, we're actually gonna YouTube it? That's awesome.
Wow.
Imagine if someone has it.
86 ja Saaren päällä oli siinä Audinensa hieman suunta hukassa. Tässä tie käy
he had his own
Hannu
train?
Nevalaiselle, joka...
Hitler had his own train? What?
Yeah.
I knew, of course he has his own fucking train. He did too much blow not to have his own train.
Well, he was on amphetamines.
Yeah, he did too much amphetamines not to have his own train.
It was a cool train.
I bought my dream car and it's Hitler's car. It's amazing. Yo, do you think it's cool if it, like, for the rest of the 2020s, they tried to make cars look more like the cars from the 80s.
I agree. I think it was a wonderful thing.
Do you think it's cool if they do that?
Yes, it is. It was cool when they have like those Lincoln town cars from the aughts that are designed to look like 70s cars.
I think the Mustang I drive
Our
is
friend,
literally designed to look like that.
yeah.
With
Our
the
friend
round
Andrew
headlights.
has a wonderful Buick. I think it's a Buick, right?
Yeah, it is.
Where it's from 2000 something, but it's designed to look like a 1970s car.
A land yacht.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Nice. Or a nice Cadillac would be sick.
Very comfortable to drive in.
Hells yeah. Richie, how long have we been recording?
2 hours, 30 minutes.
2 hours and 30 minutes?
37 minutes, yeah.
All right, well, we could close up.
Let's close out. I think it's been a very good long run.
Yeah, we had a good episode. We did some fun stuff. Talked about some fun stuff. Anyway, we got to have closing statements. First, you go first, Carmen. You're the people man.
Oh, okay. Well, everyone should manifest their favorite dictator's car that they privately own. And if you want to include Joe Biden as a dictator in one of his cars, go right ahead.
Actually, I'm sorry. Because of that closing statement, I don't think we could close quite yet. We still have to talk about, real quick,
Fuck.
the death of Joe.
Yeah, Joe Biden has ass cancer. And it probably was something he detected years ago, maybe in like 2019. It seems like he's going to die next year. Maybe it's related to him having lost the election, but I suspect it would have happened anyway. It's all part of his general mental decline and the reckoning that our society ought to have with having a senile, ass cancer-ridden Grandpa Simpson for president.
All right, listen, bud. I have pancreatic cancer, and I'll still kick your ass in the election.
That's a pretty good Biden. It's just like you need to say more nonsensical things and like weird old-timey references, weird racial moments.
I'll wring your neck in this election, buddy. Even if I do have pancreatic cancer. My name is Joe Biden, president of pancreatic cancer.
Make him kind of a Bill Clinton, but yeah, it's like that, but slower, and then like random muttering, random bizarre senile statements.
Yo, Richie, can you look up a video? Some random one came to mind. Look up Pakistan school children, India. I don't know if you saw this.
I have, yeah.
What?
I have.
What about you?
I think I have, yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so good. Oh my god.
Pakistani school children, Joe Biden.
When I will grow up.
No. You gotta press back. This isn't the full one. We gotta see the full one. When I grow. Yeah, I think that. How long is it?
60 seconds.
No. That's the one.
Hello, I'm Michael Ettinger.
Oh,
Founded in
mute it real quick.
1991, Ettinger.
All right, just wait. Just wait till it ends. I'm not gonna let these guys get airtime off my shit. Actually, maybe it's not that bad. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let Ettinger get a say. All right.
Pilot.
Yeah, he's a pilot. Great. You see, this is the spirit. We love Pakistan.
My pledge to my country is that when I will grow up, I will be the scientist like Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan, who has Pakistan making the nuclear power.
Inshallah, we have a bright future. We have here students who are going to make Pakistan a great nuclear nation.
When I will grow up, I will be army and save Pakistan and destroy India.
Strong army, wow, great.
My pledge is to help people who need people.
Pakistani Rizzler.
He's going to help the people in Pakistan. Great.
I will open as much educational institution as possible, and I'm proud to be a Pakistani.
The next generation of Pakistan is
Look
going
up
to
Joe
make
Biden
Pakistan
2020
100%.
debate clips.
Wait. I want to see this rest
My
of this.
pledge to my country is that I will finish all corruption, and so we will prove to Pakistan is not less than any other country. Pakistan Zindabad.
Pakistan Zindabad.
I will be a soldier, and I will die for my country.
Yeah, we are soldiers who want to live for the country and die for the country.
My pledge is to when I will grow up, I will help the poor people by giving their home, by giving them homes.
Inshallah, he is going to give homes to everyone.
When I will be a boy and I will reduce illiteracy. That is my first goal. And my second goal will be to help the poor. Long live Pakistan!
Yeah. That got me amped for Pakistan, to be honest.
Wait, hold on, let's see. Not with the presidential debate. Well, actually, maybe. I was gonna say primary debate. No, actually, look up Joe Biden. Why? Why?
Why? The Majority Report.
How long is the video?
2 minutes.
Apparently,
Go back.
Biden might.
Go up to the top one.
Son.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Mr. Vice President.
Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man.
That's awesome. Why?
Joe Biden, Black Kids Records. Or Records, Black Kids.
This is why he has. This is when he had pancreatic cancer. He would be like, "Yo, I got pancreatic cancer. Why you bother me with this shit?" I can't tell you that because I'm right for
Is this one?
Alright.
The old young Joe.
Old at the debates. Black Kids Records.
Were you all back in chains?
What a delightful figure. Just the whole Biden crime family.
This guy's crazy. It's a miracle he was ever president at all, honestly.
Actually, fuck it. Just play Corn Pop. I don't know. It's the all-time great achievement of the man. I know everyone's heard it so many times, but I always love watching the Corn Pop video. That one about up there. That one. Is it 14?
Yeah, it's 40 minutes long.
No.
That's my dude, though.
That one. Is that like 3?
I learned a lot.
Full screen.
I learned that it makes a difference. This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and they weren't allowed to. It was a 3-meter board. If you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there.
Yeah, brother.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, to show how things had changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap.
Oh, God.
And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off." Well, he came off, and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, "I'll be waiting for you." He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke. There's a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic. And I said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Come down here in the basement where all the pool filter is. You know the chain? There used to be a chain that went across the deep end."
He's like Arnold
Schwarzenegger right now.
Schwarzenegger
6 foot length of chain. He folded up and said, "You walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, 'You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.'" I said, "You're kidding me." He said, "No, if you don't come back." And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And in those days, you used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel.
I remember those days. I know exactly what he's talking about.
But I was smart then. I said, first of all, when I tell you to get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again. But I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams. I apologize for that.
I'm a bitch.
I apologize.
Esther Williams was like a movie professional swimmer.
I said, "I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said." He said, "Okay," closed the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again.
It's fine. My dad told me about that story that things like that used to happen before like civil rights and black power. My dad said like prior to black power, black guys would back down in a confrontation even if they could take you, like in the early 60s.
Because they didn't want to get.
Yeah, they're just less aggressive or more skittish or nervous. And I was saying, like, yeah, it's just very much like how things were back in that era.
The good old days, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. When the Jews had slaves. Do you know that there is nothing in the Torah that forbids slavery?
Yeah, there's nothing in the Bible either, or Quran, obviously. Or Buddhism. Slavery's a pretty human universal up until recently.
So should we bring it back?
No, it's just economically inefficient. I don't care about the morals, but it seems economically inefficient, even if it's good for the individuals who are enslaved.
I'm sorry, I know we're closing out. I just want to finish rolling this joint.
Jigger? No, so the Joe Biden saga is fascinating. You have a senile old man protecting his crack-addled white trash son.
Does he have a daughter?
I think so, yeah.
Imagine if you marry his daughter. Or his
As opposed to Dr. Joe Biden when he bit or sucked on his wife's finger at that public event.
Did he really do that?
Yes, he really did that. His wife reached out her hand and he started sucking on her finger at this public event.
Maybe she was like, my boo-boo hurts. And he was like, let me kiss it for you.
What was it phone for? The Joe Biden administration.
Say what? What about the Joe Biden administration? What about the Joe Biden administration?
What was it all for? What a bizarre, fascinating 4 years.
Well, what I can tell you about the Joe Biden administration and the administration before that is that America really, really cannot allow a woman to become president.
Yeah, I know. Trump is the ultimate leader, is the grandmaster at preventing women from becoming president, both Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. It would have made sense for Joe Biden to resign in office and Kamala Harris to have become president, which is probably the original intention.
But then America collectively decided to put their foot down and said, nope,
No bitches.
the white man still runs this country.
Is that our closing statement? Because we're nearing like a 3-hour episode. You practically cut it in